Alright, hello and welcome back to Fate Grand Order. Tonight we're going to be continuing the Olympus storyline. I've been going through a lot of different games lately. I hope it's not too many, but at the same time I do like that it prevents me from burning out on anything, which some, like Elden Ring, are definitely at risk of doing. Ah yeah, last time we had just arrived in the titular interstellar mountainous city Olympus, and had to fight our way through the town. And now we've managed to find the God Destroyer Alliance base. However, we have sadly found out that the allies we came here to rendezvous with have already met their end. Unfortunate, but we must continue on. Section 4, Lostbelt. Thou art the harvest that reaps the stars. Gazing up at the sky. Always reminds me of my beautiful, fragile daughter. My dear daughter was born solely to be loved. You always loved everything that grew on the land. You always had such a bright smile on your face. Oh crap, is this going to reference the Forgotten City? I had always hoped that one day you would meet someone wonderful, fall in love, and have a dear child of your own who looked just like you. And then that child would one day have a child of their own. You know, so on, so on. Till one day the land would be covered in your descendants. That's what I used to dream about, and I truly believed it would happen. But now... everyone's just kind of addicted to each other, I guess. Why? Why? Why did you leave the land that day? Great Orbital Shrine, Olympia Dodona. How many times are they going to make me say that name? It's a mouthful. The Hanging Perimeter Gardens. Definitely distinct from the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. They're not ripping off that. Actually, I think that's kind of the point. They are taking off something that's even older than they are. The birds are chirping merrily again today. They sing the praises of Olympus. They sing of how happy they were to be there among its glorious skies, bountiful harvests, and beautiful vistas. And yet, my heart still sits at ease. This sounds like you got it rough too, hun. You're the queen, right? My world's version of Greek mythology. I remember Zeus falling in love with a human queen at one point. They say you fused with Zeus's first wife, Hera? Doesn't that feel like sharing a body with your mother-in-law? How do you stand it? On top of that, you're even acting as his priestess. I guess Zeus must be really attached to you. By the way, just out of curiosity, how does this Lostbelt feel about women's rights? During the Olympia Matcha, Lady Hera suffered a grave wound and her original mechanical body was destroyed. But Zeus was reluctant to lose his beloved queen forever. By fusing her remnants with me, a heroic spirit from proper human history, he was able to prolong both of our lives. Such is the depth of his love for us. And I see. I thank you for worrying about me, Pepe. You didn't answer the second one. And I'm genuinely curious about it myself. Though, as with the Forgotten City, there's obviously no point in arguing, I just kind of want to know what it is. Now, if you wouldn't mind, I was hoping to ask you about the Chaldeans. How can I say no to that, especially after you've been putting me up in your lovely palace, shrine. Oh, what's this? Are you two having a nice little chat? Demeter. Demeter honestly looks even younger than Aphrodite in this game. Possibly even younger than Europa now that I see the two closely. Any friend of Chimera or Dime is a friend of Zeus's. Please make yourself at home. Why, thank you. Don't mind if I do, then. Trying to give Pepe a bit of an androgynous voice, but I guess I'm not very good at those. I must applaud you for your initiative, Queen Europa. Lady Demeter. I would never have thought to do something so dreadful as gathering information on Chaldea and proper human history. What's this all about? No, wait, let me guess. Is it because you feel responsible for letting them get away yesterday? Yes, that is correct. I feel terrible about not being able to fulfill Lord Zeus's revelation. Oh, you poor thing. You really are quite the worrywart, aren't you? But you don't have to worry about things like this. Just let myself and the other gods take care of it. Yeah, I was hinted at in the previous Lost Belts that if anyone truly knew what Chaldea was supposed to do, the entire Lost Belt could turn against us, but we were able to keep it hidden for the most part. But I guess in this case that's not happening. Unfortunate, but a necessary thing on Zeus's part. You may have assimilated with Lady Hera, but you're still only a demigod. Zeus would never want you pushing yourself beyond your limits. All you need to do is sit and smile by the flowers like any young maiden your age. I mean, like I said, Demeter, you look even younger than her. Have you met my daughter Persephone yet? I'd love to see you become fast friends. Lady Demeter, I'm afraid Persephone... a servant, was it? Heroes who are inscribed with their humanity upon their death and now materialize as heroic spirits. What an awful procedure, I scarcely think of anything more dreadful. Everyone knows humans should only be born from their mothers. Say, I have a wonder if I do, Europa. You should think of me as your mother now. I think grandmother might be more accurate, but that's mostly due to... Maybe, I guess I just really like the badass granny depiction she had in Hades. It's quite alright, Europa. There's no need to be polite. I'm the goddess of the land, and the land has always been mother to all things. Rest assured, I'm not gonna meme about the girls who are, like, older than 20 and therefore treated as elderly like the fan base does. I'm not the person to do that. Mother of the land, huh? That sounds a lot like Gaia. In Greek mythology, I know, she was the mother of the earth, the gods, and everything else under the sun. She was also married to Uranus, the first god of the heavens. I think technically it's Ernest or something like... Well, there's a few ways to pronounce it, but I'm going to go with the one people meme over the least. Well, first there was chaos, then Gaia, the land, came forth and gave birth to everything. The land has always been a mother, and that's how it's supposed to be. And the sea... Well, the sea was also a mother, at least it was supposed to be. The sea... I don't sense any sort of femininity from the late god of the sea in Atlantis. Maybe that refers to the Oceanids, the daughters of the sea? Oh, Pepe, a human sage. That isn't what I mean. I suppose it might be difficult for you to understand, but all the same, I'm certain the sea was also once a mother. While many do consider the sea a mother in some pantheons, the Greek mythology is not one of them, as far as I'm aware. Then again, in the last time, they did refer to our characters as quote-unquote demons. But again, demons don't exist in Greek mythology, so how do they even know what a demon is? Now granted, it could easily be explained, like Wodime could have explained the concept to them, and so they've used that to handle anyone from outside the city, but... That's obviously because they wanted to make it clear how they felt about us, and so they used one that most people recognize, even though it shouldn't technically exist. And presumably they would have found the explanation afterward if so necessary. A magical energy signal is making its way towards the ship. It's kind of faint, but I recognize the pattern anywhere. It's a servant. Oh damn it, what do we do? We don't have anyone here who can fight. Calm down, Manuel. Have you tried a more thorough scan? It's I don't know how to pronounce his name, I'm sorry. Now, what, now you can't even remember the food theme anymore? But anyway, good idea, I'll run a more thorough scan. Easy there, guys, keep it together. I already scanned the servant, there's nothing to worry about. Leonardo. Technical advisor, what are you thinking? You're supposed to be in recovery. Hey, what's the big deal? You know I prefer to be called Da Vinci. Anyways, don't worry about me, my recovery's still coming along fine. Holmes was nice enough to set things up for me so I could connect my consciousness to the border's core on the recovery pod. That said, the most I can do right now is activate the systems that don't need magical reactors to be rebooted. So you're not overexerting yourself then? Of course not, I'm still making health my first priority, isn't that what your family's homunculus used to do too? Yes, it is, ruthlessly so, in fact. But never mind that now. What did the scan tell us? Oh right, the magical energy, well like I said, there's nothing to worry about. Their spirit origin is super high quality, but I can also tell from their low energy levels they're in bad shape. So it looks like a really high-end heroic spirit, one whose spirit origins on par with the divine, has drifted here, possibly from Atlantis. Drifted? So what, you're saying that got sucked in the Great Pit's whirlpool? And they've been sort of floating around this area ever since, instead of falling straight down? They probably have some kind of passive ability that lets them move around like this even when they're adrift. Then we need to make a calm, level-headed decision. If we have a powerful divine-level servant who's drifting about in a weakened state, and from Atlantis, Yeah, I think he's figured something out. What is it? Relax, old man. That's just a new message sound. We got a bunch of data from the Wandering Sea. README is a video. The README is a video file. Put it up on the main screen. First of all, I want to congratulate you all on making it to Olympus. Now that you made it this far, I wish you success in cutting down that tree of emptiness. I've been going over all the data you sent me and it has proven extremely useful. Thanks to what you learned by going up against the machine guards Artemis and Poseidon, we now know that we can expect that the other gods of Olympus are similarly powerful mechanical beings with combat abilities beyond a human can. And above all, we have gained information for the ultimate weapon that Hephaestus designed and forged out of Achilles' construct armor. The longbow Orion used to shoot down Artemis. That piece of data turned out to be the final key. A final key? This is the key that will give humans the means in order to bring down those gods. The last hope we have of fighting back against these literal Deus Ex Machinas. God by machines. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure if the Greek gods being robots was actually was original to the writers here, or if they decided it based on something based on actual mythology. Like, I think in Hades at one point it was mentioned that humans thought the gods were made out of a living metal of sorts, but I don't know if, again, I don't know if that might even, for all I know, could even be referencing this very game, because, long story short, everything that comes to the North American, the global server that I'm playing was in the Japanese version 2 years ago, and for a single line of dialogue, it's not too hard to adjust something to reference that. But on the other hand, then it could be an actual part of the mythology, and I just never looked it up. I might look into it later, but knowing me, I'll probably get caught up in something else and forget. I'll try. Sometimes I remember. I was able to look up the information I needed from Ace Attorney Chronicles, after all. Oh man, a kaiju attack. The skyscrapers are collapsing! Damn those Olympian gods, not even my defenses can stand the face of their assault. They're about to break through every one of our defensive lines. Assemble my mass-produced mechanical soldiers. It's up to you to hold the last line. Let them hear you roar, men. Even should we vanish here today, the flag of freedom will fly strong. Farewell, Chaldeans. The rest is up to you now. I finished the first 2 summoning positions. I'm so close to finishing more, but we don't have enough time. If only we had a few more minutes, I could have at least finished the 3rd and 4th. I'm sorry, lady. If nothing else, we should have at least made sure you could escape. Edison's group has been fighting admirably. They cleared much from their experience in the singularities. But I'm afraid this is as far as we go. We are truly, utterly defeated. The God's lone strike will demolish this entire sector before we can even deal them a single blow. Maybe we threw caution to the wind too soon, or maybe we never had any chance of winning at all. Ah, damn it, damn it. Mechanical Olympian gods, they're the real deal. They might not even know something about I know, but remember, they are all the enemy of proper human history. They may well be ships that cross the sea of stars to come here, my wise and beautiful Helena. But they're absolutely not the stars you looked up to. Thank you, Mr. Tesla, you are very kind. Here's the truth, lady. Hear me, gods. This world does not belong to you. You were co-signed to the trash heap of proper human history long ago. You aren't protecting anything. You only suffocate humanity with your enduring tyranny. Humanity will never be your pets or playthings. Honestly, that really makes me wish that I could... Formation restricted, oh dear. Honestly, that really makes me wish we could have actually seen more of Tesla and Edison in terms of a serious situation where they actually have to fight. Because while they do have a rivalry, both in this game to reflect their real-life rivalry, they do agree that the gods' powers are for humanity to take for themselves, and so their specialty is basically to reveal mystery and reduce the power of divine spirits. So basically, yeah, they're supposed to be designed to take down the gods specifically. And of course, the fact that the Olympians still won shows just how powerful they are. I do get there have to be casualties to establish just how threatening this is. I just said that that Tesla and Edison are designed to be god slayers in this universe, and yet they still lost to gods. So yeah, I get it, but Usually they're only ever used in meme events and joke storylines, so I kind of wish we could have seen a bit more of them in action in a serious situation like that. That's right, we're in the underworld where Hades used to live. Is that you, Mash? Good morning. Good, you're already up. I hope you don't mind if I come in. Good morning, Senpai. Did you sleep well last night? Oh. Are you okay, Senpai? You look pale. I feel like I just had a really bad dream. Mash? Senpai. As a matter of fact, I had that same dream myself. I think it's probably because we heard that all the heroic spirits that came to Olympus from Atlantis were wiped out. So much for finding other heroic spirits to join us. Still, they did leave this hidden base for us. It should be more than functional enough to fit our purposes. And Musashi's here too, so it hasn't been a complete loss. Yeah, we did at least manage to hook up with some servants in here. Not in that way. But yeah, we managed to get some help, even if it's not the group we originally planned. We should report back to Gordolf. Our comm situation has improved. At least we might not have as much interference down here thanks to the difference in magical energy levels. Fo! Is he trying to cheer us up? Yes, I'm sure he is. Come on, Senpai. Musashi and Holmes are waiting for you. Morning, Alex. Did you sleep well last night? Oh, if you're hungry, there's breakfast to be had over there. I say, this about Olympus. The food here is yummy. I visited lots of different worlds when I was alive, and as far as food goes, placed easily in the top 5. Must mean civilization has flourished to the point they can really focus on things like refining cuisine. It's too bad they apparently never got around to inventing udon. You really do love udon, don't you, Musashi? Yeah. Ooh, I do too. Oh, fellow udon lover, right? You just can't be that texture. It's true. And the way the noodles glide across your tongue being delightfully chewy at the same time makes me end up eating more than I intend. Oh yeah, I know servants don't technically need to sleep or eat. Just because we can go without both doesn't mean we should, if you ask me. Getting good rest helps you feel centered and focused, and a good meal makes you feel straight up happy. I mean, since we materialize with emotions and all, it'd be a waste to neglect them. Well, I'm glad to see you're in good spirits, Musashi. You bet I am. I'm still me, no matter where I go or what I do. Sure. Things might be kind of depressing lately, but in general, I like to smile my way through life. That's the kind of gal I was in life, so it's who I am today. Fo. Oh, morning to you too, Fo. So now that we've had a chance to slow down and catch our breath, I think it's a good time to tell you what I've been up to since we last saw each other in Russia. Well, first, so we're all on the same page. I was able to meet up with you guys in Russia because of my unique constitution. See, I was able to wander into neighboring worlds in life. I always thought of it as Lady Cannon's guidance. And recently, I learned it's actually called drifting. So I think what happened is that I ended up drifting right before the world was wiped clean. When I drifted back a moment later, there was nothing but a bleached white ground everywhere I looked. At the same time, I thought I'd end up in some blank slate parallel world, but after wandering around, I drifted right in the snowy fields of the Russian Lostbelt. With me so far? I think so, but something doesn't quite add up. Right, back at Chaldea, your drift was recorded as something similar in nature to a ray shift. So my understanding is that you could only drift to unique time periods in parallel worlds. Yep, as a rule, my drifts always put me in different worlds, never the same one I drifted from. Before, if I want to drift back the same world as all you guys, I'd basically have to keep drifting and hope I'd eventually get lucky. But when I drifted out of Russia, I found myself face to face with the same bleached white earth of 2020, when the Lostbelt storyline started. I tried a few more drifts after that, and they all turned out the same way. While I didn't always end up in the same location, I did always end up in the same world and time period. A bit surprising at first, but I realized I basically gained a superpower, the ability to teleport across long distances. From there, I spent my days wandering around, fighting off weird creatures, testing how much I could control this ability, and then one day... Watch yourself, woman. Colliding with another teleporter is unheard of, even in the Mavecraft world. I ran into this guy who was kind of arrogant, but basically alright. We ended up traveling together for a time. He turned out to know a ton about things, like, know what kind of divine power my drift uses, and what happened to you guys after Russia. I'm not sure there was anything he didn't know. Anyways, I pretty much caught sight of the whole situation. So I decided to sneak into the Atlantic Lostbelt ahead of you guys and wait for you. Oh, I even managed to drift in Olympus, easy peasy. They never even knew I was here. Unfortunately, my drift only works on me, so I couldn't bring Robed Guy or any other heroic spirits along. So it's locked to her. It's a self-teleport. They're probably gonna need more help besides just me. Should we spend more time looking for other servants? No need. Circumstances being what they are, we can be assured a grand servant will appear in the Atlantic Lostbelt. That servant will be a much more powerful ally than you could ever hope to be. Ooh, painful but blunt. That being said, yeah? They will need you as well. If you want to come along, I can take you as far as the Atlantic Lostbelt, but no further. The counterforce truly is nothing if not meticulous, meandering, and mean-spirited. If that's the same guy we met in Atlantis, it's someone using Romani's body. I mean, it looks like him, but it can't be, aside from the fact he kind of erased himself from existence, and I don't mean that as a metaphor, that's actually what happened. He doesn't even act like Dr. Romani was, so... Oh, so basically your self-warping powers really came through. Yep. I always used to think of this tendency to drift as a problem, so I'm glad it turned out to be actually useful for once. So in exchange for no longer being able to ray shift to different periods in parallel worlds, now essentially free to teleport, at least to an extent. It's very impressive what you've been able to make your way into Lostbelts without embarking on a zero sail. Yep, I'm not entirely sure how it works myself, but that all sounds right. So in summary, your drift ability involves jumping the rift between worlds, and then emerging into another world. I think it's safe to assume it still works the same way, since I would explain how you're able to get past the Lostbelt's storm walls. The idea you're jumping into a higher dimension, then falling back into a lower one. The only difference is before you could fall to any number of possible destinations, but now you're only falling back to this world, which is why you always emerge somewhere here. Yeah, exactly. I guess I can't really call it drifting anymore, huh? One last thing. What about the robed guy? Can you tell us anything more about him? I'd like to know too, is he the robed figure we heard rumors about in the other Lostbelts? Well, the one who claims to be from Chaldea? Sorry, I can't answer that. He made me promise not to. And I still owe him for giving me food and shelter for a night, so I can't exactly go back on my word. Well, I'm still glad to know he helped you, because that does at least show he's likely on our side. Right, he did, didn't he? We may not know who he is, but we know he sent you here to help us. And if thanks to him you united, he has to be on Chaldea's side. Yeah, I mean, it'd be great if it turned out to be the case, haha. He also told us that someone in our team can't be trusted. Now, we know it can't be Gordolf because he only joined our team at the start of the Lostbelt storyline. You know? We know it can't be us or Mash, obviously, because we were there at the time. It can't be Sion because he specifically said someone who was in the base, and she wasn't in the base at the time. It's unlikely to be Da Vinci, but it's not impossible, I guess. So that's why a lot of the fan base wonders if maybe the person we were warned about was Holmes. It's hard to say for sure. At the very least, it does seem Sherlock knows Mr. Sholmes knows more than he's telling us, but he also doesn't seem to be going against us in any way, so if he has some goal that's different, it's unlikely it's an issue. Likewise with this robed figure, whatever he's trying to do, even if he's trying to sow discord, it seems he's trying to benefit us to some extent, so we can worry about the exact nature of this later. Anyway, Alex and Mash, there's something I want you to keep in mind. Yes, the orc spirits who came here from Atlantis may be gone now, but you still had allies willing to risk their lives for you. So while it might feel like you're fighting all on your own, you're not. You may not be able to see it, but your homeworld of proper human history is still here to back you up. Yeah, there's always been someone around. And you say that is all the reassurance I need to know you'll be alright. Ah, Foe. I see you're raring up to go, Foe, too. That's a spirit. You're right. Motivation is the key to success, and we're gonna need all the motivation we can to settle things once and for all. What, saying out loud would scare you? Don't worry, we can do this. You guys already took out 2 of these gods. Oh, but we only managed to do that because we had so many servants helping us. Not to mention, they had all enhanced their spirit origins thanks to the Olympian gods Theros, Cleonomia. On top of all of that, they had to risk everything. Even then, we were only able to eke out a victory. This isn't good, Mash. You've been hit by the cowardice bug. Oh? What? Bugs like that need to be shaken off as soon as possible. So on that note, go ahead and Orton hacks up, Mash. What? Go on, no need to be modest. Musashi, is this really a good idea? Luckily, you can shake it off pretty easily by getting some exercise, which means you're doing this too, whether you like it or not. That goes for you too, Mr. Detective. Don't think I don't see you watching over there. Oh, good grief. It would seem Eastern Samurai intuition, especially at a Sword Saint's level, is a frightening thing indeed. Holmes, should you be up and about yet? Oh yes, I'm quite alright. Miss Caroline, in fact, I feel lighter on my feet than I did before we left the border. As far as I can tell, I've recovered to a point I may engage in hand-to-hand combat once again. These medical nanomachines are truly marvelous things. You found the Demeter Cleronomia too? correct? Those Theos Leronomia, collective mass of microscopic authority, are named after Demeter, or one of the goddesses of Greek mythology. Demeter is the goddess of fertility and the deity who cultivates ambrosia, food which grants immortality. According to the mythology of proper human history, she's best known for the tale of her beloved daughter's abduction. Persephone was abducted by Hades and made the queen of the underworld despite Demeter's desperate attempts to bring her back to Olympus. Demeter, I remember seeing it once back in Atlantis, but true, but the ones being kept here are far more effective than the ones we saw in Atlantis. If we could bring some back with a study, I've no doubt. Okay, no more questions. It's morning training. Don't worry, you can have breakfast as soon as it's over. Senpai? Looks like you and I are doing some morning training. Right, understood. The morning training seems like it'll be a bit difficult from the simulator training I'm used to, but I'll do my best to adjust. Very well, Miss Miyamoto, if you insist. Be warned, Baritsu is a highly versatile martial art. If you think your katana alone will grant you easy victory, I advise you reconsider tactics. Ooh, I see someone remembered to bring their trash talk. Alright guys, come at me whenever you'd like. My void sword is ready and waiting. Mash is already a starting member, but this is going to be a little annoying. Alright, so we're fighting Musashi, we need an archer. I have two choices. Kiro is the obvious one, but I'm going to go with Santa Altera, because bluntly, she benefits the most from a double Scotty setup. To battle, Alright. 2 life bars. This should actually not be too bad, I think. Oh crap, wrong one. You know what, let's just restart the whole thing. I was trying to think of... and I ended up ignoring the obvious right in front of me. And don't worry about the wasted AP, I'm just going to use apples if I need to. Good, I managed to pick Dark Kirby at a time when... Actually, I probably shouldn't mention which game just came out because that'll date the VOD almost immediately. Yeah, it was the Forgotten Land. Just came out. Oops, I did it again. As you can see, I am very much in a hurry to get this over with, but haste makes waste. We shall not rush. Oh, interesting, an unknown one. Or I should, I need to remember to update my Twitter to make the announcement. I really just use it for stream announcements, but that's probably all I really need it for. Alright, now let's swap Mash for Attila the Santa here. Also give it a bit more damage in case so that she doesn't fall short. This should ensure I have more than enough. Alright, here we go. Candy Star Photon Ray. Okay, let's do this. 1, 2, 3.
Candy Star Photon Ray.
Oh, excellent. Already broke the first break bar. Warm-ups are over. Excellent. Critical up. Oh dear. Well, don't worry. This is going to be over very, very quickly. I was worried when I thought, oh crap, she doesn't have a... There's not a battery, but then I thought, oh yeah. Until Santa has a battery of her own. Ooh, a quick Brave Chain. If Musashi survives the initial attack, she's not surviving the follow-up. Alright, let's go. She's not quite as good as Chloe, but oh dang, yeah. Pretty sure that was a holy crap, 73 stars. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Here we go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was about a good bit over 450k damage there, not bad. Fo. I know, right? Food always tastes better after a good workout. I think Olympian cuisine might be a new favorite. I agree, at first glance it doesn't appear to be anything special. There's bread, ham, salad, milk, the same kind of staples we've seen in all sorts of times and places. And yet for some reason I can't put my finger on it, everything here tastes different. Well, maybe not completely, I mean the bread's still bread, but ham's still ham, milk's still milk, but from the moment you take a bite you can sense the flavors changing at least 3 times. Every single one is a breathtaking culinary experience. I know exactly what you mean. I had the same reaction the first time I went around sampling local cuisine. While we've still only seen a small fraction of what Olympus has to offer. We now know it is an enormous, highly advanced city with many tall skyscrapers, that its nanomachines guarantee its populace long, healthy lives, and that its incredible prosperity, I might add, that is independent of any sort of currency, enables the people to devote themselves to art and academia, thereby further enriching its culture with no need for any kind of manual labor whatsoever. Their daily lives are happy affairs, praising the gods with bright smiles on their faces. War and combat are simply unknown to the people of Olympus, except for where we are concerned, of course. Yes, I see. There's no better word to describe the mountainous city of Olympus than a true utopia. Utopia. A sort of earthly paradise that people have been dreaming of since time immemorial. Even the food here is sublime. The Chinese Lostbelt Empire was arguably a type of utopia as well, but its ideals were only achieved by concentrating its culture on a single point. Well, remember, the very name Utopia is based off the fact that it can't exist. Even the person who invented it knew. Let me check something here. Olympus, and on the other hand, shares its wealth with every sense of the word, and without any conflict whatsoever. It really is a paradise beyond human achievement. I must say, even I don't know what proper human history could do against an opponent like this. Yeah, this seems like a pretty big uphill battle, but every utopia has a very, is hiding something very major, something that makes it possible that likely wouldn't have been approved of if people knew. Hey, Holmes? Yes? Did you notice Alex Mashling just cheered up? Do we have to rain on the parade like that? Besides, as far as we're concerned, it doesn't matter whether this place is a utopia, amusement park, or a front for organized crime. You guys are from proper human history, which means this is a fight for your very survival. And the only way you guys are going to walk away from this alive is if you beat them before they beat you. Alex, you're here on behalf of all of proper human history. I know this isn't the kind of position you wanted, and you didn't really get a choice, but that's all there is. You've got enough in your udon bowl as it is without having to pile on extra toppings. Perhaps, but all that being said, Miss Maymoot. Musashi? Thank you for worrying about us, I really do appreciate it, but it's okay. We need to know who it is we're up against. We need to know who the people of Lostbelt are, even if we're attempting to cut their world off from human history again. We already decided it'd be wrong to avert our eyes to the effects of our actions. Wait, is that what this is about? Right, wrong, and stuff? Oh? What? I mean, the key to walking away from battle alive is to keep things simple as possible, right? It's all well and good to worry about your opponent's circumstances, your own moral code and stuff. But you have to be able to separate yourself from these things, because only worrying about them in the heat of battle is only going to help you lose. I mean, I'm not good for much except slicing folks up like a human meat grinder, you know? So, any undue pressure about stuff not directly related to matters of life and death while I'm in the thick of enemy territory is the last thing I need. I see. So your comments just now were not meant to console, but rather... Yeah, I just want to cut it out and make it easier for me to... Basically, there's a time and place for everything, and that includes thinking. I mean, yes, it's obvious true, I get your point. Oh, that's all Musashi. Exactly, just take it easy, can't win a fight if you're busy moping. And I'm sorry again for raining on our breakfast parade. Oh man, now my soup's cold. No need to apologize, Miss Momoto. I should have known better than to voice those thoughts at that time. Hey, yeah, you were the one who rained on it, not me. Now that you mention it, I suppose I was. I do beg your pardon. Is that how you got to save yourself? Fo. Please go easy on him, Musashi. What in the world are you all doing at this hour? I'm sorry, we did not mean to disturb you. Thank you, it was scrumptious breakfast. I see, that wasn't me. The twins made it for you. You mean the two people who rescued us yesterday? That's right, though I doubt you saw their faces at the time. Why don't you two come out already? It's your base of operations, isn't it? I'm glad to hear you like the food. Were you able to get enough rest? We slept great, thank you. Oh good, I never had guests before, so I wasn't sure if I did a good job or not. Never mind that now, sister. For the time being, looks like you're at a point where you can talk again. I'm glad to see the Lyranomia is working. I wasn't sure if it would fit your spirit origin or not. Indeed it did. I'm greatly obliged for your help. Wait, did you give me some too? You? Oh, don't be ridiculous. It'd be one thing if you'd undergone biomodifications like the elite soldiers, but there's no way Lyranomia would ever be compatible with a normal human from proper human history. No, all I did for you was cast a light healing spell, since you didn't have more than a few scratches. Oh, well, thank you all the same. You're very welcome. Chaldea, visitors from proper human history. Well, I guess that doesn't really apply to all of you, but anyway. You must be me. I'm Makarios. This is my older sister, Adele. It's very nice to meet all of you. We're the God Destroyer Alliance, or at least that's what's left of it. Well, it's good to meet both of you. I am Mash. I'm Miyamoto Musashi, wandering servant. How about you in the hood? I have nothing to do with those twins. Introducing myself now would only complicate things. You don't say, then who's your owl friend? Hoot hoot. Oh. All the gods of Olympus are machines. A mechanical owl shouldn't exactly be a shock. If you say so. Adele Makarios. Thank you for saving us. I don't know what we would have done without you. Are you both from Olympus? Yes, that's right. We're both official Olympus residents. We have citizen numbers and permanent ration cards, and we live our lives by the grace of the gods' blessing and protection. But the truth is, not now, sister. Save it for later. They need to know what's going on before we tell them about us. Oh my gosh. I said no, it's too soon to tell them. Besides, Chaldeans, I'm sure there's someone else you'd rather be talking to. Oh! Voice recording for Chaldea, pattern B2. Alright, where to begin? For the time being, I've entered all the information we possess in the base data's processing unit. It's embedded with an artificial personality program, so it can answer most questions you might have. That concludes the video portion of the instructions. I'll let the artificial personality take it. There, I think that should do it. AI activation complete. From here on, I, the AI, will do the talking. Yes, the picture remains the same, but get over it. The image is a recreation made by recycling existing video footage. An AI, huh? I suppose that shouldn't surprise me. One of the greatest scientific minds among the heroic spirits. And don't forget, you can always switch to me if you don't care for the half-witted eccentric persona. You can also switch to me if you prefer. I can't do anything Mahatma related though, so I'm sorry I cannot be of more help. Anyways, hello there, Chaldeans. It is nice to meet you all. Yelena. So the servants who left these recordings for us weren't summoned to Chaldea. Nor were they the ones we met in any of the singularities. Rather, they're all heroic spirits from proper human history who were summoned here to this Lostbelt. I don't know, Edison only materialized like that in a singularity. That is a good point. Edison's lion-headed spirit origin only came about in the fifth singularity, so he should still retain his memories of us, just like Jean d'Arc Alter. Alright, let's begin with the basics of Olympus. Your opponents here are, in a word, gods. That was me. I decided to pause the AI for a bit. Before you hear any more, I want to warn you guys, you'll probably be shocked at what they have to say. It might even make you despair completely. Some of the heroic spirits that made it here only stuck around long enough to say nobody could win against the gods. I just want to make sure you're ready for what comes next. It's okay, keep playing. Right, we can't do anything if we don't know what we're up against. So please, let's do the rest. If anything, it might be worth having the bad news first. Alright, first let's begin with the gods themselves. The gods of Olympus, the rulers of Lostbelt, are genuine deities that have existed since the Age of Gods. Kind of like Scotty, except there's more of them. Those deities, including the ones you may have seen in Atlantis, have come here from far across the universe. Although, one thing I did like about Scotty in Lostbelt 2 is she was the only leader of a Lostbelt that actually wanted to negotiate with us. She tried to find a peaceful solution. And I really appreciate that. We also faced, and yeah, I think she was the only proper one we faced before 5, because there was no proper deity in Lostbelt 1. Lostbelt 3 he was worshipped as a god king, but he wasn't quite at that level. 4 had a proper one, and he was the first one who was openly hostile. So that was a pretty big deal. The entire Lostbelt for 4 was trying to find a way to defeat him. Even if it's I don't know yet if the Olympus gods here are as powerful as Arjuna Alter was, but even if they're a bit less, the fact there's so many of them means it's gonna be a lot more rough. Far across the universe. Fo! I trust Macaris and Adele are there as well. They, like all residents of Olympus, refer to the gods as thus. Deities who came here across the Sea of Stars, the Great Ones, the descendants of primordial chaos, the great systems whose prosperity bear the Cronus crown, and of course the 12 Olympian machine gods. Sea of Stars. I know these were interstellar weapons, but this is bigger than I was expecting, but huh? So hang on, let me make sure I've got this straight. You said these are super ancient gods who came across the Sea of Stars, then that would make them space aliens, right? So basically, not quite. It would be entirely accurate to refer to them merely as intelligent life forms from another planet. Based on everything we know now, it seems they are more akin to machines from an extremely advanced civilization. Well, it depends. Are they a civilization that was mechanical from the get-go, like the Transformers? Since they're a mechanical race that was always mechanical, they never had any biological components. Or were they from a race that was biological at one point, but gradually upgraded themselves? Or maybe they were built to be gods of another world, which they destroyed, and then they decided to find a new one. One may reside outside our galaxy or the far edge of the universe, an entirely different universe altogether. Yes, that's more or less correct. Huh, I'm surprised. I thought you guys would be a lot more taken aback. Why aren't you? Well, after Atlantis, I had a feeling they'd be something like that. Oh, I see. Alright, now should be a good time to proceed. Next, I have more information about the gods for you. Now, from this point onward, I'll be telling you how this Lostbelt differs from human history and the point in time of which it diverged. Now, first of all, how these gods originally came to be. The first gods were born from primordial chaos, and eventually the younger generation fought the Machia, the first Great War. Up until this point, the world was largely the same as it was depicted in the myths of proper human history. The Titan Machina was a war between the Titans, the gods of the old generation, and Olympus, the gods of the new. As I recall, Zeus defeated his own father, Cronus, the king of Titans. Yeah, but Cronus was an even bigger dick than Zeus. Then again, I guess the apple doesn't fall from the tree. Cronus liked to eat his own children, and Zeus ended up doing the same to his. This is with Pallas Athena, although granted she ended up escaping. And depending on some tellings, Dionysus was in his leg for a short period of time. No, I'm not making any of this up. But then again, I think most people into Greek stuff probably already know all this, and so I'm basically preaching to the choir here. You gain control of the rest of the Pantheon. The gods of Olympus won that war, and Zeus became omnipotent as a result. Omnipotent? He can't be omnipotent because he can't see us here. And then there was also the second one. This took place roughly 14,000 years ago. During this war, also known as the Lucas Machia. The gods of Olympus did battle with an enemy that threatened the entire world. Unfortunately, the details pertaining to this event is scarce. Ah yes, the White Titan Safar. Not only was it not recorded in proper human history, most citizens of Olympus know very little about it. However, my distinguished colleagues, what we can say for sure is that we are certain this is the point where the Lostbelt diverged from proper human history. Oh! The Third Great War, the Gigantomachia, battle against the enormous Gigantes that took place about 3,500 years ago, serves as further evidence of the divergence. In proper human history, this Matcha was the second and final Great War of Greek mythology. In the version from proper human history, the gods of Olympus, aided by human heroes, eventually succeed in vanquishing the Gigantes. I think the great hero Hercules even played a part, if I'm not mistaken. Heracles. Well, it's Heracles. I believe the Greek version Heracles and the Roman version is Hercules, but it's a bit confusing, I guess. However, in this Lostbelt, the gods eradicated every last one in an instant. How did they accomplish such a feat? By preserving their mechanical bodies, which in proper human history had long since faded away, I presume. Exactly. The Olympian gods used their original machine god bodies to obliterate them all at once. At least, that's our working theory. In proper human history, the machine bodies were lost against Safar, but in this Lostbelt, the gods were somehow able to retain them. Alright, so we now know what happens. Somehow they were able to win against the battle against Safar, and the Titans' goal to destroy the world without having to sacrifice their mechanical bodies. That was a fight so rough it eventually required the Excalibur itself, a weapon from time. The Excalibur for anyone who's never been into fate stuff, the Excalibur, while the weapon itself was given to Arthur from the Lady of the Lake like normal, it was actually served a major role in the backstory since time immemorial, basically. Yeah, so the sword itself dates back far earlier than any of its wielders. As a result of this, the very Atlantic Lostbelt which we find ourselves, a world run by the result is the very Atlantic Lostbelt which we now find ourselves, a world ruled by machine gods who still possess their once lost mechanical bodies. So in proper history, the gods of Olympus were meant to lose their machine bodies between 14,000 and 3,500 years ago. So it would seem, but here the gods remain alive and well, and as long as the mechanical gods from beyond our universe have their original bodies, they are not even affected by the deterioration of the Age of Gods that was meant to occur. That brings us to the fourth and final Matcha. As with the second, this one has no equivalent in proper human history. It is peculiar to this Lostbelt. A few thousand years ago, the gods of Olympus split into two factions. The conflict revolved around what to do about humans, whether to rule over them or coexist. This led to a fierce disagreement between the gods. Zeus, Demeter, Aphrodite, Hera, and Artemis wanted to rule, while Athena, Hades, Poseidon, Apollo, Hestia, Ares, and Hephaestus wanted to coexist. We believe that Poseidon initially sided with the rulers, but eventually ended up defecting to the other faction. Gods on each side enlisted royal lesser gods as their disagreement into a full-blown war. This battle went to be called the Olympia Machina, the Great War of Olympus, as it's known as Atlantis. Both sides fought fiercely, and the remains of the mechanical gods who were killed fell to Atlantis, where they formed islands. In the end, the faction supporting rule over humans was victorious, and the opposition survivors were punished. For example, Poseidon, the sea god. His divine core was rewritten, reducing him to little more than an automated defense unit to guard the Great Pit. That brings us to today. The gods who emerged triumphant in all four continue to rule this Lostbelt in the city of Olympus as their capital. This is actually a pretty big deal thinking about it, because Poseidon and Hades are generally considered to be around Zeus's tier. I guess Demeter could also be considered one. Apparently, yeah, but then again, I guess they did suffer some casualties, because we did hear that Hera was originally about to die, but they merged her with Europa to keep her alive. Today, there are 5 gods who rule within Olympia, and their great orbital shrine takes up the center of the city. Zeus, the omnipotent god of the heavens. Europa, the divine queen who fused with the goddess Hera. Demeter, the goddess of the land. Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty. And finally, the Dioscuri, the ancient twins. That Dioscuri. I guess the twins are counted as one. Yeah, I guess the Dioscuri are counted as just one. Because I guess everyone just really loves the ideas of twins being exactly the same. Dioscuri. Not now, Macarius, not now. But technically, the twin gods of Dioscuri are a divine spirit, which makes them neither living nor mechanical gods. They died once and were transformed to a divine spirit. Killed them, you ask? I wish I could say it was the God Destroyer Alliance, but no, it wasn't. The killer was the Cryptor Wodime, a human mage, a regular human mage. After that, he formed a contract with the Dioscuri, making them his servant. To be clear, he did not summon their divine spirit from the form of heroes. He formed a contract with the genuine gods after they had been killed and reduced to a divine spirit. The Dioscuri are not among the 12 Olympians, but are no mere lesser god either. They are one of the ancients that accepted Zeus as the supreme being. To be precise, they are a divinity that's been around since before Giganto Machina. From what we know, been able to gather, they joined the pantheon by imbibing of Zeus's divine blood, his Chloromia. They're now considered children of Zeus, with standing equal to Apollo in his glory days, and Wodime managed to kill them. Hard to believe, isn't it? Haha. If only it really was as bad a joke as it sounds. They should just stay dead. Them a divine spirit? What a load of crap. Dioscuri are deranged. They don't deserve to be spirits, let alone gods. Yeah, from what I've seen so far, even from back in Atlantis, Castor is ridiculously unhinged. And his sister Pollux, while slightly more reasonable, is still nonetheless a very negative, positive influence on him, if that makes any sense. Oh, please forgive my brother. He swore an oath to late Athena he would one day take revenge on them for their murder of our 100-odd fellow Alliance members. Wait, there's 100? The Dioscuri are bloodthirsty maniacs, death incarnate, human killers. They killed almost all the humans who joined the God Destroyer Alliance. There are only a few members left now, including us. Well, that must have been pretty rough. Oh, little Chaldeans? Why are you acting like that? Aren't you scared? We're going against murderous gods, ones who actually enjoy going other ways to slaughter people. Oh, honestly, as long as the enemy's a saber, I genuinely have no issues. I mean, as we just saw, my Matilda Santa is really great at nuking foes, and if she can't do it, Chloe is even more overpowered. Honestly, it would have probably been even easier, but hey, I got Scotty, might as well go full Scotty. He against my foes, right? Gods will actually enjoy. Oh yeah. And if that isn't bad enough, there's another guy out there strong enough to make them his flunkies. Oh, so there's one more person beyond the Olympians. Normally I'd have guessed Demeter, but it could be one of the Titans still alive, including Cronus. It could be someone else. It could be another one. It could be that Hades eventually did change sides. There's a few I think I can imagine. They've even mentioned Chaos a few times, but... Oh, it could even be Nyx now that I think about it. Well, no, Nyx isn't that... Nyx is powerful, but she's not Zeus tier. Unless they decide to do something interesting with her. So, well, but it should be interesting seeing who it was. I can think of a few, but we have to remember this is a Lostbelt. It's not the proper timeline, so there's going to be some unique stuff to be sure. It might even be someone I never would have expected, someone who shouldn't be stronger than Zeus, but is. Yeah, it's absurd. We know some of the heroic spirits gave up and walked out when they found out how the Giganto Machia ended. So how do you guys? Does the fact you aren't more phased mean your world property history is even more messed up than ours? Stop that. There's no way to talk to people we just met. Oh. Sorry, everyone got a little out of hand. Please, it's fine. Well, this is something interesting. The fact that there were hundreds of human followers, despite living in a seeming utopia, that absolutely confirms my theory that there is, in fact, something going on behind the scenes. Something that we would definitely not approve of if we knew it. There's no way. Really, I don't blame you for being taken aback. We've encountered so many different threats by now that I suppose our reactions must seem strange. Gods of another universe, mechanical gods with frightening powers, twin gods who enjoy taking lives, Chimera. Shtaria, who's strong enough to make those gods his servants. Every last one of them is a tremendous threat. Threats we may not be able to deal with. And those revelations are shocking for us. It's tempting to despair in the face of such overwhelming odds. But all that being said, we still have a job to do, yeah. Okay, I think I get it now. Alright, that's what you guys are like. Yeah, you're just how Edison said you'd be. He was right after all. So you Chaldeans really are a pack of weirdos. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. How you convinced me, I like you guys. Oh? So you get it now, huh? That's great. They really are weirdos, aren't they? Foe. What the hell are you? Don't jump on us. What are you, some kind of squirrel? Oh, look, Macarius, I think he likes you. Foe. Eek. Hey, get away from my sister. I think I like these twins better. Can we have them as a servant instead? The harvest that reaps the stars. Lots of beer story in this one, but I don't mind. Weirdos, huh? Yeah, that's the right way to think about them, Macarius. They're all hopeless weirdos. That's been the case in every other Lostbelt so far, too. Though it's not to say that means they'll be able to accomplish the same thing here. Okay, I thought maybe this person might be a Hades or someone in disguise, but when he said it was a place where Hades used to live, I guess, well, he could have been referring to himself, but I doubt it. I wondered if maybe, Canis survived after the fight in Atlantis, but that doesn't seem to be the case. They're not swearing. This person isn't swearing enough for that. I thought maybe it could be the robed man, but I'm not sure if that's the case, because they aren't talking in that same demeanor. What are you talking about? You're only here because the collaborators sent you, right? So where do you get off acting like you know so much about Chaldea? Collaborator? That's what we call the person who's been so kindly aiding our God Destroyer Alliance. We don't know their true identity either, but they've been a big help to us, especially since with procuring supplies for combat. We were told that the collaborator sent this hooded man here to help us, but... Say, you're in a hood. You are on our side. Of course. I am for now, at least, otherwise I would have let the gods do what they wanted with you. I'm an acquaintance of this collaborator you speak of, and on second thought, that's enough for now. Excuse me, I apologize if I'm way off the mark, but are you... Gods of Olympus? Then you mean after Rasputin snatched him away? I'll spare you the details of this particular exercise in deduction, but suffice to say I'm something of an expert when it comes to disguises. Well, Sir Hood, did we get it right? Kadok. Fo. What, do you guys know each other or something? Oh my, does this mean you're part of Chaldea too? Me? You gotta be, oh forget it, just hell no. Damn it, Holmes I get. How the actual hell did you see through my disguise, Mash? I was using a disguise spell and everything. I'm sorry. Whoa, what are you apologizing for? It's not like you did anything wrong. Yeah, fair enough. You saved our lives, Kadok. Kadok was the main antagonist of Lostbelt 1, or at least one of the main antagonists, so to see him here helping us is quite surprising. Saved you. I only bailed you out because it would have been a waste to let you die back there. As far as I'm concerned, you're nothing more than the pawns I can use to throw Olympus off balance like it did in Russia. So I'm going to use you guys to further my own agenda, and that's the only reason I bailed you out. But Baka, it's not like you even have Snowball's chance in hell of willing here anyway. Between Zeus, Wodame, Foreign Guards, alter egos, you guys are hilariously outclassed. That's why I don't have to bother trying to kill you myself. God, as a former member of Team A myself, I'm not part of Team anymore. I'm a crypter. Hell, I'm probably not even that anymore. Does this mean you're not acting with or on behalf of the cryptors here, Kadok? Hell no, I don't have the slightest idea what Wodame's thinking. He went out of his way to have Rasputin get me, but he never told me why. You may have lost your Russian Lostbelt, but that doesn't mean you need to enter another cryptist service. You can keep your serious light as well. You're a free man, Kodak. All I want you to do in this Atlantic Lostbelt is whatever you see fit. Is this your idea of a joke? Because if not, it doesn't make any sense. Aren't you the one who sent Rasputin to get me off the shadow border? That was entirely the priest's decision. Of course. Granted, I don't think he even needed Kirei's influence to want to do something like that, so Rasputin is kind of a jerk and would do that entirely of his own volition. I have no right to give the foreign god's disciples orders. As for why I saved you, your guess is as good as mine. Perhaps he only wished to prevent you from leaking information. Yeah, well, there's not much I could have told them besides which crypt was where. None of us have any idea what the Trees of Emptiness are actually made of, or who the foreign god really is. Of course not, the foreign god couldn't care less about any of you, after all. The foreign god isn't going to tell you anything, nor do they expect anything from you. They couldn't care less if you lived or died. Whereas the same cannot be said for me, as my every action carries the weight of the grandest expectations. Is that so? Well, excuse the hell out of me for being a third-rate mage. Huh, what's weird? What was that long silence about? Yeah, Kadok is just an ordinary person who happened to have a bit of magic, so he's kind of like the player character in that sense. As such, if it wasn't for the whole Lostbelt situation, they could have even made friends with him, was my thought when I first met him in Lostbelt 1. But now he's got a major inferiority complex, not just because all the other members of the Cryptors are stronger than him, but that someone who is also just as untalented as him managed to do what he could not. Managed to save the world from the timeline in the first act of the story. It's fine, Kadok. Just get some rest for now. We won't have to worry about Chaldea for the time being. Kane has told me everything. Told me they've made their way to Scandinavia, but there's nothing we can do about them from here. So my only orders for you are to go and see Olympus for yourself. And you actually think I can live up to your expectations of the total mess of things I made in Russia? I'm not the one who can decide whether or not you'll do that, Kadok. You are. I have no idea what Wodame is thinking. Yeah, I'm kind of with Kadok on this. What is he doing? He might as well have not told me anything at all for all the difference it would have made. So now I'm just doing whatever the hell I want, just like he asked. That's just part of why I'm here. I'm gonna uncover the whole truth behind Zeus and what Rodame's really thinking. Oh, and what do you mean by that last part? I don't actually care what's going on in that head of his, but it's not like I've got anything else to do. So I'm gonna show that stuck-up aristocrat things aren't always gonna go his way. Oh, maybe that's what he was intending. He said that Remember, Wodame said last time that no matter how good Zeus's plan seems to be, he is confident it will fail, despite him not actually doing anything to stop it. I think this might have been what he was playing the whole time. Oh, what is this now? Goodness, it's been so long since I've seen your face in person. I think the last time we met must have been back then, when you tore those Pole Dioscuri twins apart. Wodame. Good day, Lady Demeter, Goddess Land. Indeed, it has been a long time, hasn't it? It seems your memory partition is functioning properly, at least in regards to me. Oh my, how terrifying. That sounds as though you could destroy our true Alethea bodies whenever you like. Ah, Wodame, a dreadful human capable of killing us single-handedly. Quite a problem, child, aren't you? It saddens me so, particularly since I think of you as my own son. Demeter, mournful goddess of the land, mother of the beautiful Persephone who inherited much of Gaia's disposition. I urge you to share your boundless motherly with humans other than myself, love with humans other than myself. I have no need of it. Oh my, there can be no children without mothers, nor can children grow without love and nourishment. Gods and humans are very much the same in that respect. It's a new intelligent species, still barely older than a newborn babe. This precious, fragile intelligence we met on this planet, I do love you all truly. I love as though you were all my own children, and I love you too, Kasheri. The same way you love Persephone? Why yes, you know, Zeus is absolutely right. There's nothing brings a mother like me more joy than to see her children grow up strong and happy, which is why there's nothing I wouldn't do to make that happen. I would take an arrow for my children. I would gladly give up my body, my life, my Alethea for them, truly. And I'll take you on your word, Demeter, and trust that you truly bear a mother's love. As a matter of fact, Zeus's ideas of restoration of mythology are closer to your notions than mine. What are you saying? You mean the Olympus, the heart of our Lostbelt, is not the ideal you seek? Of course it is. We only differ when it comes to our endpoints. You see, I believe that the gods should be even stronger than they are now. My. Now, let me tell you one more thing. This is the most important piece of information about all the gods of Olympus that I have to share. The king of the Lostbelt is Zeus, an all-powerful god who naturally still possesses his original mechanical body. He has existed ever since the Age of Gods, just like Skadi in the Scandinavian Lostbelt. And it looks like this is information we already knew. Zeus, an omnipotent god who has continued to exist for millennia. If we were to take his omnipotent nature at face value, then it would seem we are truly outmatched, and yet, Mr. AI, I cannot imagine the electricity expert whose visage you now borrow would waste his time challenging an opponent for whom he has truly no chance of defeating. Ha, you cut right to the heart of things, don't you? Still, I can hardly blame you for interrupting, Mr. Holmes. You have every right to be concerned. And yet you are correct. Your hope of defeating Zeus is small, perhaps infinite small. But it does exist. Zeus is indeed mighty, but he's not truly omnipotent. Well, I thought that was obvious when he didn't know we were here. So he can do all sorts of things, but he can't do anything. Catch on quickly. Yes, that is right. As the king of gods, Zeus possesses authority over infinite things, but conceptually he does not possess infinite authority. We believe that Zeus has turned into an omnipotent god by synchronizing all the Titans' authority with his own, followed by many lesser gods' authority, and ultimately even his fellow 12 Olympians' authority. That much at least would seem to be a matter of little doubt, but conceptually he's not truly omnipotent, and so does not control of things that belong in this world. At least it's working theory. Okay, so he is actually like Arjuna Alter. He basically took the powers of the other gods. We don't know if this includes the ones who are working at his side, but this does mean he probably took all the others along with him. This might not include it. We don't know if this includes Poseidon or Hades, for example, but I guess it can't be since we're in the underworld where Hades lived and nothing happened, and he doesn't have any idea we're here. Alright, that's a working theory. I see. Do you happen to have anything to support that theory? Of course, the very alliance base you're standing in now. The underground infrastructure. Precisely. A truly omnipotent being would have known about villains like us lurking underground the instant we set foot here. And yet he has no awareness of the underground infrastructure. This was the domain of Hades, his fellow god, and yet he doesn't even bother to look at it. From this, we can surmise the gods of Olympus are conceptual, like those from other mythologies. And as such, simultaneously, they depend on Clomonia, their authority-like functionality from enormous mechanical bodies used as ships to cross the sea of stars. That is where our chance of defeating Zeus lies. For if we are up against a omnipotent king of the gods with authority over infinite things rather than a truly omnipotent, then you should have a chance, however minuscule, of defeating him. Thank you, Mr. AI. This is both informative and hope-inspiring. Alright, let's get back to it. Alright, glad to see I was on top of things when I recognized that if he can't see us in this domain, he can't be as omnipotent as he claims. Though that said, only business remains the information we have pertaining to Zeus. The omnipotent king of the gods, the head of the 12 Olympians, and victor of all form, has formed a contract with Chimera as his equal. Well, bet you had no idea about that, huh? Yeah, the player knew that since it was mentioned a while ago, but the heroes hadn't known yet. Oh, you mean Chimera formed a contract not with the divine spirit, but a god himself. That shouldn't even be possible. Granted, there's no way to test for sure, given gods don't exist in our own timeline, but theoretically speaking, forming a contract as equals is... Okay, hang on, let me make sure I've got all this straight. You're saying the Chimera guy formed a contract not with the divine spirit, but an actual god. And not just any god, but a demiurge that's as big a deal as the Vairocana. Full marks, Miss Miyamoto. In fact, this is from an esoteric Buddhist perspective, it was truly a perfect answer. That's right, Zeus is neither a divine spirit that returned to nature, nor a divided spirit. He's a proper deity, and Kershia has formed a contract. That puts him completely equal footing with Zeus as his friend. Holy cow, that's the kind of mage you guys are up against? Yeah, humans shouldn't be capable of that kind of power, that's the weird part. And that's right, not that we managed to stand up against him very long. Odin has been clear about his goal from the beginning. We are to fulfill this world with inhuman mystic secrets. We will restore the Age of Gods. And if this Atlantic Lostbelt becomes the new proper timeline, that goal will pretty much be fulfilled. He formed a contract with Zeus to be certain his Lostbelt's Tree of Emptiness would grow bigger as soon as possible. But even with all that said, there's something that doesn't add up. A Lostbelt that needs its Tree of Emptiness to maintain its existence, but that doesn't change the fact that as far as this Lostbelt's king is concerned, flashback to all the others in there. That Tree of Emptiness is something strange and entirely foreign. But Zeus had no problem with this. I'm sure he and Wode came to some kind of secret agreement about it. At this point, I can't see what their endgame would be. Foe. Hey, keep that furball away from me, would you? I never liked it even when I was at Chaldea. Oh? Ease there, foe. It's okay. I guess he must be allergic to him. Alright, Mash, this is the last thing I have to tell you. If you want to see Wodime, you can find him in the Great Orbital Shrine, Olympia Dodona. That's where you'll find Zeus as well. Hey, Kadak, if you want to come back to Chaldea, we'll welcome you with open arms. What, he finally snapped? I might not be a cryptor anymore, but that doesn't mean I want to go back to Chaldea. I can't trust either side. I'm sick of being someone else's pawn. I'm gonna fight back and do it on my own terms. It's a lot more badass than doing it like that anyways, but baka. Anastasia would probably say the same thing if she were still alive. Alright, that's it for me. I'm getting out of here. I've said everything I want. I've gotten everything. I need to I need it out of being the collaborator's lackey. I doubt we'll ever see each other again. That depends on you guys. Haddock. See you around, Mash. Just make sure you don't stick with the losing team there for too long. You felt to yourself when you saw how strong the gods were, right? Well, Zeus and Wodyme are even stronger. If I were you, Caldance, I'd take a good long think of where you want to spend the rest of your lives. If you survive long enough, make sure you go see Wodyme. Berserkers. You know, I thought I'd tail him a bit to see where he's going. But he lost me pretty quick, too bad. Man, turning invisible. Well, and then a rapid movement ability is one hell of a spell combo. Might not technically be teleportation, but sure feels like it. Don't worry, I've main spy in Team Fortress 2. I actually know it's actually pretty easy to lose someone on your tail if you know how to use stealth. More specifically, I found out that if you stealth and move in one direction while you're going stealth and then immediately turn around to the other, they'll usually chase where you went. Keyword being usually. Likewise, if you want to hide, you usually want to hide along the... I found it a lot safer to hide along the perimeter, because while it's pretty not unusual for someone to fire their weapon at a corner to see if a spy is hiding out there, they don't do it at the edges between the corners. But surprisingly useful. I was never an especially good spy, don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure there's plenty who were good, way better. There's plenty who were way better at the time, and I'm sure there's even better ones now that I've stopped playing, but... I definitely learned a few tricks. Maybe using talismans and mystic codes this Chimera gave him or something. You were tailing him? Well, of course, how could I not if he tried to run off like that? Incidentally, I attempted to tail him as well, with equally dismal results. I suppose we should have known he wouldn't make it easy for us. Now that being said, I believe the information Kodok shared with us is trustworthy enough to use in determining our next course of action. After all, he would have little reason to lie for us except personal revenge. Which, granted, could be an actually major issue given his major inferiority complex, but... Well, while he certainly has cause to desire revengeance on us, given it taking into account his manner of speech, facial expressions, tone of voice, and what he told, the fact he flat out said it. Alright, we get it. Enough with the deduction shtick already. Basically, we have to make our way to Chimera just like Kodok said, right? And eventually, you guys have to cut down the Tree of Emptiness that has insanely powerful super beings defending it. Boy, talk about playing on hard mode. This is gonna be a fun challenge. Since this collaborator person's good enough to support the underground society here, I figured it'd make our lives easier if I could make contact with them. But it looks like that's not happening anytime soon, so what's our next step? Great Orbital Shrine, Olympia, Dodona. If that enormous floating building's acting as the gods and Chimera's base of operations, the next step should be figuring out how we're going to get to it. We could try to get there on the Zero border through a series of Zero sails, but even if Zeus's Thunderbolt somehow missed us while we were preparing, it wouldn't take long for the other gods and soldiers to overwhelm us through sheer force of numbers. There we go. Did you just do something, Makarios? Oh, that? I was just defrosting something. Did you just say defrost? Yeah, I did. I'd like to officially ask you to join the God Destroyer Alliance, and we want you to fight with us. You want to go to the Great Orbital Shrine, right? And you also need to cut down the Tree of Emptiness Magellans further, or past it, right? Then we should be able to help you with both goals. We have ways to travel through airspace. Furthermore, the Great Orbital Shrine's God's Throne is forbidden for humans to set foot there. They won't let you in without a fight, but you're gonna have to fight the gods anyway. True, which is why I hope I can count on your help. We will. Magellan, another galaxy name, though I had suspected as much. We'd be honored to help you. Oh, I thought, why don't we take this occasion to celebrate? Ooh, by celebration, do you mean food? That's right, I made a pretty simple breakfast, but for a special occasion, sister. Sorry to interrupt, but I need to use this thing while it's still freshly defrosted. Oh, I see. Why don't you? So no yummy food, bummer. Oh yeah, what was it you were defrosting anyway? It's something you might have seen before. Here it comes. The floor just opened up and something huge came up beneath it. Oh-ho. It looks just like the hostile entities we encountered in Atlantis a number of times. It's a steel chimera, an autonomous weapon made out of high purity. It used to serve the gods, but after Tesla made a number of adjustments to it, and Miss Blavatsky created a spell to tame it. Now listen to us, it does a good job too. Nemea, sit. As you can see, it's now this alliance's base's trusty guardian. So next up, we're gonna use it to see how strong you guys are. Are you okay with that? Yep, figured something like this was coming. Oh, no you don't. Where'd all that big talk from earlier go, huh? Surely you're not about to say your Baritsu's no match for a little demonic beast, huh? Of course it is. I said Baritsu was highly versatile, I stand by that, but that doesn't mean using the fight creature that isn't quite simply a pain in the posterior. Ah, you two really get along, huh? Anyway, we can back you guys up with artillery mystic codes. We don't know how that much when it comes to sword fighting. It's true, we were hoping we could count on all of you to handle the melee combat. Hey, you'll be fine, right, Mash? I mean, you got a giant shield and everything. Me? Sorry, Mash, looks like it's emergency transformation time. Right. Just give a few minutes if you wouldn't mind. Emergency transformation complete, setting output to 70%. Preparing to intercept combat training target. Do I have something stronger? It's a Berserker, so I can use basically anything I want. I should stick to something quick, actually, so yeah, we'll stick to, Santal Terra. Oh, it's an AoE battle. I thought they said it was just Nemia. I thought they said it was just one strong one. Alright, let's go back in. Again, don't worry about my stamina. I'm just going to use some potions. I can use the apples to restore it so I can still go through a full AP bar tonight. Full AP bars worth of missions, I mean. Well, in this case, this makes my choice a lot easier. Ah, yes. This might actually be worth my time. A lot more worth my time. I think I mentioned last time I was trying to resist, rolling a Reshkagal. Well, I failed, but the good news in one way, but I succeeded in another. I lost a decent amount of quartz, but I ended up getting her at NP2. She's absolutely ready. So, time to show off her new NP2 damage. Hopefully it will be sufficiently impressive. There's only one target, so I think she can kill them by herself. Let's... Actually, you know what? Let's do it. 150%. Oh, 200%. And what's the overcharge? Oh yeah, increases Buster card effectiveness. Alright, let's see it. Oreshkagal's NP2 damage. I've used it before, but I think having it on stream would be a better idea to... Darn it. It's not a problem. 5-star Lancer is still a 5-star Lancer. Oh well. She has an interlude coming up and that'll fix a lot of problems, as well as giving her a nice anti-Earth enemy, Earth-type enemy effect. Okay, Nemia, you can rest now. Steel Chimeras are going back in their underground storage hangar. The battle is over, Master. You never thought the Chimera would divide itself like that. It's just me, or were you not taking this especially seriously? Looks like you guys really are strong. You obviously have a lot of experience fighting up close. That means you ought to be able to go toe-to-toe with the Royal Guard. Still, it's not going to be enough to beat the gods. We're going to use Tesla, Edison, Blavatsky's parting gifts. That's right, they left us a number of machines as a few different plans of attack to use. These god-slaying blades are the best tools the God Destroyer Alliance can offer you. Adele, you're hurt. Huh? Oh, this? I guess it must have gotten hit when Mia's shards went flying. Don't worry, I'll be fine. She's bleeding from her right arm. We have to stop it. It's okay. In fact, there's a good chance this is a good time to show you something. Watch. Your injury is healing itself. It still hurts, but the wound is gone now. By tomorrow, there won't be a trace of pain. So it's really okay. You don't have to worry. Oh. You can burn us, shatter us, tear us apart. Doesn't matter. We always go back to our perfect forms. That's right. We never change no matter what happens to us. Any injury we suffer heals itself. That's how we've been remade. Thanks to the ambrosia, the Demeters, or Cleorome that they regularly give us to maintain our bodies. No citizen in Olympus will ever get sick. We're all practically immortal. No one can die, no one can kill. The gods are the only exception. They're the only ones with the power to kill. I'm sorry, I think I may have misheard you a moment. Just say you're practically immortal. Yes, he didn't say that. I presume that means as long as the god's authority remains, you and the other people will even come back from death. That's right. Back from death. So that means the soldiers we had to kill before will be back right away. One thing humanity's continued to do for a long time more, the ultimate goal of countless technologies, not to mention magecraft. And here it's just a fact of life. Just how advanced is Olympian civilization compared to ours. So every injury anyone gets automatically heals, they never even have to fear death. It's damn impressive, that's for sure. I can't even imagine what it'd be like to live like that. Oh, foe. I knew the city had achieved long, healthy lives for its citizenry, but I never would have thought it also found a way to bring them back from death. Never mind a utopia, this place seemed to be more akin to a heaven, our collective idea of a blissful life after death. It almost strikes me as a calculated plan to forcefully evolve humanity into the realm of gods. Good gracious, I can only imagine the look on Winshie's face if they were to hear about this. So if Olympians can even come back from death, that means the soldier we fought's still alive. Oh yeah, I am absolutely on top of this. Right, now that you mention it. That reserve soldier we fought when the alarm sounded, he was dead. I killed him myself, but now that you mention it, there was something strange about it. Even after I dealt the killing blow, it didn't feel as if I'd really won. I guess him not actually dying would explain it. He didn't die. None of us can be killed here. Inflicting death is a power only the gods have. By this point, that soldier will come back to life and start thinking up ways to get his revenge. While we're on the subject, I might as well tell you this too. Even if we stop taking ambrosia, like my sister and I have, the Calendar will continue to function, so it will always be like this. Forever? Oh, that's right. So they never grow up. Immortality is, well, eternal. Ever since the day gods bestowed ambrosia on us eons ago, we've always looked exactly like this. So you don't just have eternal life, it's eternal youth as well. Right? We've been alive for a long time, a very long time. Never reached adulthood, we both stopped growing long ago. The adults are all happy that we're still children. Say children are weak and should be protected, so we should just let them and have the gods take care of us, be grateful for it. Never mind, we passed adult age a long time ago. Now I see. While many Olympians are fine with this enforced stagnation, you are not. While the gods may have succeeded at preserving happiness at this level society, it seems they were unable to extend their control to individual emotions. Really fascinating. Very well, that at least makes it clear why you two have chosen to rebel against the gods and assist us. Before we go any further, there's one thing I would like to confirm with you. That's right, fine with me. Right? As you know, we are from Chaldea, beings of proper human history. Our victory would mean the end of this entire Lostbelt. You understand what that means. If we succeed at cutting down the Tree of Emptiness, everything, the Olympus, the gods, and all the people here, including you two, will disappear. No exceptions. Even knowing that, are you wish to fight by our side? Yeah, we do. We don't need to keep living the same day over and over forever. We want to see a new tomorrow, even if it means we end up dying for it. Oh no. Please don't be sad, Mash. We spent an entire century thinking this through from every possible angle, and this is what we've decided. We want to see tomorrow, a real tomorrow, a day that's different from the one that came before. Something that's more than just another day. You've already lived more than enough for countless lifetimes. Do you have any idea how old I am? Remember you said everyone in Atlantis had a lifespan of at least a few hundred years, so I guessed twice that, several times? A few hundred years, huh? The gods' protection must have worn pretty thin for them. I'm jealous. Factoring the fourth Mechania, we're actually supposed to go to Atlantis ourselves, along with all the people who support the faction that want to coexist between the gods and humans. But what happened was, we missed the last boat, and we'll never get another chance since the gods don't allow any of us to leave the city. Whoa, hold up. The fourth Machia was a war between the gods. Can you say that happened several thousand years ago? So you're saying you're a few thousand years old? No, we're not. I'd say we've been alive for around 10,000 years. Huh? That's right, 10,000 years plus a few centuries. 10,000? Oh. I see, so we're citizens of Olympus. We're the gods' beloved playthings, kept in their eternal cradle. Ever since the day the gods built the city, we've been stuck living in here forever. That's right. For 10,000 years, we've been forced to live millions upon millions of versions of essentially the same day, never getting to set one foot outside the city limits, never getting to grow or change. 10,000 years, utterly stagnant. Well, we now see why this Lostbelt was pruned. There was absolutely no changes for that length of time. Wardrobe unlocked. Ortonax refurbished. Saint Quartz has been unlocked. Excellent alternate costume for MASH. A harvest that reaps the stars. Hour the harvest that reaps the stars, part 3. Interstellar mountainous city Olympus, great orbital shrine, Olympian Dodona, the center of its operations. A revelation is upon us, a revelation is upon us. Now is a time of revelation. He is all-powerful justice, the direct heir of primordial chaos, and the ruler of all things. He is the one who should keep all of humanity safe, who should rightfully rule worlds, ruler of the thunderbolts capable of shattering the Adama scythe, none less than the authorities of Gaia, and about his will, he's the... Okay, yeah. Now behold the words of the mighty Zeus! Not a bad design, actually. There is work to be done. I command you by my name, Demeter. Across the land, who grants the vast earth an abundant harvest, my own flesh and blood, you are to eradicate the Chaldeans who lurk within my city. I permit you to use your Aletheia in every district of Olympus. May your piercing shriek shatter the bones of the enemies which threaten our world. As you wish, mighty Zeus, your will is my command. Those Chaldeans demons. Again, Greeks should not be aware of what demons are, because demons do not exist in Greek mythology. So either Wodi may taught them, or there's more Christianity involved in this Greek mythology than they're willing to admit. Strike fear into the very hearts of our citizens. And the citizens of Olympus may well be my own children. And as the citizens of Olympus may as well be my own children, my duty as a mother is clear. I shall use every power and authority at my disposal to eradicate them. I swear on my beloved Persephone. What a lovely oath, I'm touched, truly. I see. You have sworn this oath on your precious daughter, Lady Persephone. Then heavenly Zeus' will is certain to be fulfilled, no matter who may try to stay in its way. Forgive me, King of Gods, but may I offer a word of advice? As nice as it is to see my alter ego colleague and fellow foreign god disciple Limbo who overcome with emotion, it is not why we're here. Might there be any room for us to join her on this mission? Your help is not needed. I have no orders for the likes of you disciples. Well, that's a pity. It seems we still have yet to fully earn your trust. May I say something, Father? Yes, Father. May Big Brother say something. I do have my concerns about sending Demeter. I'm happy to abide your judgment if that's what you think is best. That being said, there's one thing I'd like to ask. Please tell me. Why did you place such a curse on the sage of proper human history? Who? So you notice that, Castor, child of old, in whose veins my blood runs. Very well, I shall tell you. That sage is a prime example of the very worst of humanity. Thus he does not deserve to be met with the full wrath of my lightning. I just couldn't understand that. Father, if I may say one more thing, why did you not strike him dead on the spot? Big brother, and why did you even permit Chaldea's submarine to disembark on our Holy Land? If you'd use your great thunderbolts, the entire ship would be enough. Castor, you may be mighty Zeus's child, but that does not give you a license to speak to him however you like. Remember, you are in the presence of the king of the gods. It is all right. I forgive your transgression, Castor, and I admit your words do possess an element of truth. Indeed, I am all-powerful, if I wished I could have reduced them all to dust. However, there's one thing you must never forget. If I were to use the true strength of the thunderbolts, they would demolish the city and obliterate the populace. Not even Demeter's regenerative gifts would be enough to bring them back. We must protect the city, we must protect the populace. For ever since the second Machina 14,000 years ago, the day we obtained the Cronus crown, we have ceased to be a fleet of mechanical arcs crossing the sea of stars, and have become gods. Mechanical arcs? Wait, what? They were a fleet of mechanical arcs. Does that mean the nanomachines are the true population that they were supposed to be ferrying? Interesting. I take it your divine revelation is over then. Must be quite tiring for you, King of the Gods. Especially since merely keeping Olympus running must take at least 90% of your resources. I can't tell you how sorry I am for letting those Chaldea insects slip inside. Oh, his eyes aren't glowing anymore. I guess he was glowing to make a point. I could say the same to you, Wodime. You have nothing to apologize for. You entrusted Canis the task of stopping his idol Odysseus. Both failed. Indeed, Chaldea suppressed both our expectations. Revisiting our estimation of them is more than sufficient. I see. I don't know what to say. Hearing you say that to me, a mere human, makes me feel I have even less of a leg to stand on. It may seem cool and collected, but I was actually steeling myself to face some sort of penalty. You are my friend, I know, so why don't you admonish me at least a little? I could never let the other ships, the gods, hear you tease me like that. Yeah, the fact he keeps referring them as ships. Does this mean that the gods are actually a collection of nanobots, and the mechanical bodies are simply the storage in which they're interesting? So basically, they're Death Stars piloted by nanomachines, and the nanomachines are the true populace. That's actually quite interesting. But I guess we'll have to see for sure. Let me adjust my headset here. Actually, let me get a drink entirely. This has really been a lot on my throat. Alright, that feels a lot better. Okay, let's continue on. But as it's two of us here, I cannot help but be more lenient with my judgments. Be at ease, young mage, for there's no one else here for whom you need to perform. And that goes with the foreign god too. Even as we speak, I'm using all my authority to keep this conversation private. Whatever we do or say is strictly between us. That said, even I cannot hide us from the priestess's prying eyes, loath as I am to admit it. That's because she's the observer. In a sense, she's even more trouble than the foreign god who still lacks a body altogether. But simply knowing that she will not hear what we have to say is more than enough, since that will give us opportunity to verify our endgame goals with one another. As you've surmised, yes, the foreign god is keeping a very close eye on me. The alter egos may be supervising the other cryptors, but only I have a direct link to that foreign god. If I were to act in any way counter to the foreign god's intents, I would be immediately cut off from further aid. Which is why I had no choice but to say, grow the Tree of Emptiness. When it's done, the reconstruction myth will take place. Yes, I remember that. You also said this planet's surface activity would be restored to the Age of Gods, and the gods would soon after resume their reign. I agreed with your conclusion, but insisted we face one another in combat. I said that if you truly believe the ideals, you should demonstrate you wield the necessary strength. Of course, I lost that fight. I never thought I would learn firsthand how debilitating complacency would be. Oh, that was only because I planned ahead. I took a calculated risk you wouldn't go all out if I spoke to you alone. Olympus is not part of the Earth. It's a colony that continues to operate to this day. As its omnipotent god, you have an obligation to keep it running at all times. So it follows that you would not employ your full strength in an opening move against a lone mage. Is that correct? I have to admit, you were a clever bastard of a human. As soon as you unveiled your meteor, I knew I had erred at the start. But after all, that requires leveling black magic to its full power. And black mage takes a lot to unlock. I quickly changed outputs, but by then it was too late in boxing terms. I'd already been knocked out. What I wouldn't give to show Hades the signals Demeter and Aphrodite were emitting as they watched. I doubt there are any stories of those two staring slack-jawed shock in any myths from your proper human history either. I could say much same as your reaction as well. You look more like a kindly old man than a cold-blooded, all-powerful god. Have the other gods in this Lostbelt ever seen those other possibilities you harbor? As if I would ever let them see such a thing. I'm a Zeus, the flagship of Olympus. I'm the all-powerful one who rules over even the other gods. Even this avatar to which you now speak is no more than a virtual self, created explicitly to converse with you. It is both me and not me. Yes, good point. I may be hiding something, but being a ship, you are largely unable to do so. When you're able to do something not expected of you, you create a new function to have it act in your stead. When you do something not expected, you create a new function. Sorry, I didn't mean to put you out. Let's return to the subject at hand. You recognize the foreign god's existence and accept the tree of emptiness into your world. After all, you need it in order to preserve the Lostbelt, but at the same time, as long as the tree of emptiness is here, the foreign god will one day descend upon our world. And we Olympian gods cannot coexist with that foreign god. All we gods need is the tree of emptiness. The foreign god and alter egos are our enemies, nothing more. Thus, the instant the tree of emptiness is fully blossomed, we revolt. I will claim the tree of emptiness for myself and destroy the foreign god's point of arrival. From there, I will purge this world of last traces of the insolent proper human history and establish our world of Olympus in its place. I remember you approached me with a contract back that first occurred to me. I remember you approached me with a contract back when that thought first occurred to me. Your exact words were, "There is no need to explain your decision with words. King of gods, I implore you to form a contract with me, for our ultimate objectives are the same." That was your way of suggesting we protect this Lostbelt from the foreign god, wasn't it? I wouldn't be so bold to say protect. You and I both seek the same outcome. I just wanted your help so that our goal would be realized even if one of us were to fall. I trust your feelings have not changed. Of course not. I may oppose human history, but I do not oppose humanity. I promise you that in the event of your death, I will carry on protecting humanity in your stead. Even if it should come to light that you've been deceiving us and acting on proper human history's behalf. As long as you're not openly to blame for your actions, I'll accept you warts and all. I hear you loud and clear, Zeus. It seems our problem. Okay, so he might have some idea that Kadok is supposed to be here to act entirely against them in some fashion. There are only a few days left until the Tree of Emptiness reaches a critical point. Until that time comes, we'll continue to work towards the reconstruction of the Age of Gods. The Tree of Emptiness looks more like a bunch of light. Continue to walk a tightrope with the foreign god Olympus and Chaldea, all aiming to knock you off. And you do so with aplomb. Wait, Wodime, there's one thing I'd like to verify as well. Yes. You told Cain as the stars indicated you need to fight 2 more times, yes? One of those happened at Atlantis, leaving only 1 more. So you are to save your final battle for me, understand? I forbid you to waste it on either Chaldea or the... I want to fight you once again, and I want to stake the future of this world of gods upon our battle. Of course. When that time comes, I will gladly face you with all my strength so that I may live up to your expectations. So even if Zeus isn't 100% sure on what exactly Wodime's doing, he knows that Kadok is here for a reason. This quest has no battles. Dang, there's a lot of dialogue here. Well, I don't mind. It just means basically another VN day. And it feels nice getting back to some VNs for the stream. Maybe I should have split them out a bit more, though. Maybe have one of them after I finished Elden Ring. Oh well. What an unpleasant surprise. Yeah, I genuinely think Aphrodite looks older than Demeter. At least with this art style. Well, exactly who gave you permission to stand there, human? Olympia's quarter is reserved for the gods alone. There's no place for a human to loiter. I see. Well, I do beg your forgiveness if I've offended you, oh goddess of beauty. That's Beryl. I was trying to hide my pitiful human self behind a pillar as to not upset your divine mood, but I guess I wasn't successful. You're new here. Are you another one of those mages from proper human history? Cryptors, was it? Let's see. There's Kadok, who reminds me of a little puppy. Filthy little puppy. Pepe, who reminds me of a nasty vulture. And you, what are you exactly? Are you even really a crypta? Nothing about you stands out. I can't even think of an animal you remind me of. How dreadfully boring. Ouch, you cut me quite the quick, goddess. Yeah, you're exactly right. As you can see, I am but a humble, harmless human. If you think me pitiable, I'd only ask you to find your divine heart to offer me some tiny bit of compassion. Compassion? You want me to spend my precious time thinking about a human? Humans are way deserving of our protection. I'm even willing to lend them a hand if they need help. That's as far as it goes. We're gods of Olympus. We would never waste our time on something so foolish as thinking about humans, especially not here. Not even a comrade of Chimera. Know your place, human. You could be more right, goddess. Please forgive my foolish offense. You see, I only just arrived from an incredibly barbaric land. Every person there had their hands full taking care of themselves, and any faith they may have had in something greater had long been lost. Yeah, if I remember right, in Atlantis they mentioned that Beryl's Tree of Emptiness had been cut down by himself, actually. Apparently, whatever the situation was in there was so badly, they had to abandon it themselves, which, that, I'm genuinely curious. While I do know what's coming in terms on the overall sense, like I know where the next Lostbelt takes place, due to it being coming into about 2 years, I don't actually know the exact details of the story behind it. Just some stuff here and there. So for the most part, this is a mostly fresh experience on the story. So yeah, it's not perfectly fresh, but it's pretty close to it. Not that there were any gods in that world to begin with, of course. Compared to that, Olympus has been truly divine in every sense of the word. Indeed, your glorious light is still far too bright for my eyes. I only hope you can laugh off my slight to the foolish remarks of a hopeless country bumpkin. A world without gods, such a place is better off being pruned. Very well, Cryptor, you may not be worthy of my consideration, but I can spare you a bit of my pity. I can only imagine how much you must have suffered in a Lostbelt without a single god, so I'll overlook your transgressions here in light of your wise decision to abandon that foolish Lostbelt. Now then, what is your name? Your mercy and kindness move me to my core. I have no words to express my gratitude and respect. My name is Barrelgut. If I have proved worthy of remembering me, then even if just for a fleeting moment, I will know joy beyond pleasure. Beryl, what a strange ring your name has, almost as if blood splattering against a wall. Well, I mean, there is a gemstone called a blood barrel, which I'm guessing is what Beryl's name is supposed to represent. Very well, come to my shrine. You're going to tell me about this Lostbelt, the land of the fairies, the end of the world. You abandoned. Oh, so she does know it. It would be my pleasure, my goddess, but first, may I ask you something? I can't seem to find a close friend of here no matter where I look. It's Kodok, the one you said reminds you of a puppy. Do you happen to know where I might find him? Of course not. I couldn't possibly care about such a hapless creature. He's probably out somewhere enjoying one of the city's automated brothels. Is that so? Well, that works out nicely. Oh, you see, yes, that does sound like something Kodok would do. Well, but in that case, Lady Aphrodite, if Kodok's in the city, I mean, according to Revelation. Oh, yes, he's on the city now. He'll probably end up dead, caught in the eradication of Chaldea. As pathetic as a member of proper human history, rather than one of our citizens, I doubt there will be much of a trace of him left. Indeed, that sounds heartless of me, but if this is fate, so be it. After all, you are the goddess of love, and love can at times be cruel. You were never one to come to aid immortals, even in proper human history. For my part, I can hope and pray Kodok is still somewhere in the shrine. What about the other 12? Say, for example, the goddess of the land and harvest, who has long protected animals, nature, and humans alike? Oh, yes, Demeter. Good question. I don't know where she is right now. There'd be no problem if she could remain the steely, cold-blooded goddess she could be. But Demeter... she's always been much too kind for a mechanical god. Interstellar mountainous city Olympus. South of district. All of a sudden, an enormous flock of birds took the sky, causing people there to instinctively look up. But only a flock of birds, nothing else of note occurred. Today would play out peacefully, just as yesterday. Soon there'd be another peaceful tomorrow take its place. That was what everyone thought, just before it had happened. Wait, is that an eye? It was a vastly enormous sphere. Is that an eye right there where I'm tapping? A massive steel object as far as most of the nearby skyscraper. I even could swear I saw it move. What the? It was the true form of a god. It was one of the gods that reigned supreme over Olympus, one of the arcs that had crossed the Sea of Stars long ago. Yeah, an arc implies it was carrying cargo, and if the nanomachines were that, then that means... This was the Aletheia that presided over the land. This was Demeter, the mechanical goddess of land and harvest. As the mother goddess who inherited much from Gaia, her name means Mother Earth. She saves humanity by giving them ambrosia, which grants immortality. She nurtures humanity by keeping her supply towers running every hour of every day. Her love for humans is genuine, but... ah, how sad, how tragic. Deaths is so sorrowful, endings are such misery. Oh, my beloved citizens, my darling precious children, I'm so sorry I have to do this, but I need to take your lives for a moment. Commence demolition. Well, I guess if only the gods can kill, then I guess only the gods are capable of committing murder. Oh? An earthquake. No, wait, that didn't feel like it came from the ground. This is Demeter's power. Believe me, I know these massive vibrations anywhere. Scream Eleusis. It's, well, a scream derived from Demeter's authority that can till massive expanses of land in an instant. It's powerful enough to destroy entire city districts. She could use it to plow all of Olympus in probably half a day if she wanted. You say all of Olympus? That's right, she must be trying to kill us. No, she must be trying to kill you guys, even if she has to reduce the whole city to rubble to do it. But doesn't that mean the people of Olympus will also... Yes, her scream kills everything. She must be counting on all of us to be somewhere in the area she's targeting, and that's all she needs for her attack to succeed. This was how the gods brutally killed the heroic spirits from proper human history. Oh. So they don't think anything of sacrificing our city. Wait, just remember, didn't you say that the power of the gods is the only thing that can kill these immortal people? But they're practically not truly immortal. That's what you said, right? That is correct. So then, does that mean at this very moment, Demeter's massacring all those 100,000 people? Yeah, but nobody's gonna care. Not when they know she'll just regenerate everything she kills or destroys later. That's what she did back in the third, and it's what she did when she killed Nikola Tesla's group too. With the Demeter's authority, she can easily massacre every Olympian who swears allegiance, and bring everything back the way it was just a few days later. Our glorious gods, eh? So even death can be cured in this world. But you also said you still felt pain, right? Even if they'll be outright brought back to life, being crushed to death must still be a terrifying experience. Yeah. Assuming that the goddess of fertility, the goddess of the land's authority, truly capable of restoring a person's physical body, the notion of experience of dying would somehow not affect the victim psychologically. The notion that the experience of dying would not affect someone psychologically is, I admit, while this is unexplored territory, this prospect seems unlikely at best. I see you care about the same things they did. Some said it didn't matter what the people of this Lostbelt went through, since all they were going to disappear when... Some said it didn't matter what the people of this Lostbelt went through, since they were all going to disappear when proper human history was restored anyway. But that didn't prevent the heroic spirits of our alliance from trying to save them from the gods' devastating attack. And what's more... Ha ha ha, now that's what I've been on standby for so long. I took the liberty of rebooting myself. Adele, Macarios, the people of Chaldea. Given you how you twins are more sensitive than most people. And according to the old Lionhead, the Master and the Demi-Servant of Chaldea are just as much, if not more so. I imagine you must be absolutely twisting yourselves into knots over this dreadly state of affairs. I know because we did too. And with the benefit of that experience, I will ensure you don't make the same mistakes we did. Now then, let's reopen Operation God Destroyer. Alright, I need an AoE farmer, so let's do this. Alright, let's go. Tamakat's going to be a pretty good one here. Since I need to do some farming, it looks like. Ah, how sad, how tragic. Death is sorrowful, endings are such a misery. However, as long as I have my authority, death will be but a memory, and no life on Olympus will ever truly end. And yet... I still can't help but feel this terribly sad. Raising South District. Even as they run about in confusion and distress, the people of the city continue to pray. Oh, Lady Demeter, please forgive us, have mercy. Please, my child was crushed, please spare us. How can this be happening again? Please spare us, give us ambrosia, quickly. Their cries fall on deaf ears, their prayers remaining unanswered. The situation above ground is sheer chaos. None of the people in town are even looking our way. I have visual. Demeter is approximately 2,000 meters away. That's a look good. It's our big metal ass that's facing us. Let's do what we came here to get while we got a chance. Right. Given the Tree of Emptiness is deeply connected to the given Lostbelt's king, logically speaking, the only god or Operation God Destroyer would need to concern itself with Zeus. One could even go as far as say whittling down the enemy's fighting forces is completely meaningless. However, well, there's certainly some heroic spirits, especially those from times of war who ruled countries who were unable to... Well, there are certainly some heroic spirits, especially those from times of war, ruled large countries, who can ignore the screams of innocent bystanders. No doubt they are used to having little concern for lives, having to throw away like refuse, but to that I say this. Is throwing away lives what makes one a hero? Is being able to kill the mark of a champion? Yes, I suppose the heroes may need to be callous, but it's not callousness that makes them heroes in my book. Just killing and never doing any good is all it took to be a hero, there'd be no distinction between heroes and kills whatsoever. No, it's overcoming adversity, breaking through the dark of night, saving, not taking lives that makes one a hero. If a true hero is forced to take one, it's only in order to save another, even if that other's their own. So, my fellow compatriots, if you like us, you are enraged by the destruction you see before you, then rest assured, there's one need to defeat the one causing it, while we may left for battle ourselves before it was complete. The Collaborator has since completed our secret weapon, one which gives us more even odds of victory. Thank you for sharing your opinion. However, it did strike me as a tad long-winded for an impassioned mid-mission speech. Oh, would you say that's the pot calling kettle black? Guess I expected this AI to come with a timer function. The reason I went to the trouble of making that speech, good Chaldeans, was to verify your feelings. What happens next? What will you do? I'll introduce the fighting forces, obviously. We're not here on an assassination mission, after all. Right. Oh. Well, I guess technically it's an assassination for the tree, but come on, how much work does it take to assassinate a tree? You got out again, foe? Please go back to the storage space. Status report, 7 link. Heroic Spirits cannon activated. 400 seconds till we can fire it. Commencing Operation God Destroyer 1, Demeter Maneuver. Good luck, everyone. Approximately 30 minutes ago, God Destroyer Alliance base underground. Oh, what's that? It's precisely what it sounds like. It's the name of the strategies we came with to take down each of the gods. They've been the God Destroyer Alliance's goal for a long time, after all. Although the whole reason our alliance exists, and luckily Tesla's group made a lot of headway on them. Unfortunately, we failed in our attempt, so now we'd like you to pick up where we left off. Please help us. I'm sure Mahatma had a hand in bringing it here. The spirit origin of ours may not know you, but you fought alongside other versions of us before, right? I remember you. We met back in America. We fought against both and alongside each other. I'm sure you will all fight to the very best of your ability, but knowing you, I can promise you this, it still won't be easy. Which is why we have this. Senpai, that mechanism! Oh! It's one of those nanomachine devices. Right, externally, it appears to be the very similar to the ones we saw in Atlantis. This is an original model, so I'm sure it's a cut above what you saw in terms of effectiveness and precision. After all, Claronomia never degrade while they're near the Cronus Crown, the symbol of the King of the Gods. Guessing the Cronus Crown is the giant mechanical thing above the Great Shrine? That's right, it used to belong to Cronus back before the first Matcha. So that's what keeps the Authority nanomachines in working order, huh? Sounds like extra divine providence. Foe. Whoa there, careful foe, we don't want to get too close. Not unless you want that adorable fluffy body to start swelling up like some kind of muscle balloon. Oh, fuck yo. I don't know, I've seen images of buff foe before, usually before smacking Merlin. Alright, these contain the authority of both Athena and Ares, two gods of war. They're very pure nanomachines that usually are only given to royal guards stationed in the Great Shrine. They should be a huge help in combat, at least until their effects wear off. Anyways, they're one of the more powerful weapons we got with the Collaborator's help. Normal heroic spirits can't hold a candle to the gods, so you'll need these to power up the spirit origins. Back in Atlantis, we heard those were long gone. I see, well don't worry, that's not the case here. They don't exactly grow on trees, but rest assured, we do have high purity ones from all 12 Olympians here. Usually, they would reject human-based spirit origins, but fortunately, we know how to adjust them to work on you. So we're basically gonna free power-up, huh? It's great. It's like Buddha himself came to drag us out of hell. Those of us who live by the sword aren't picky about using whatever gives us an edge, at least if you live by my Nintenichiru. Granted, I'm sure there's also regular heroic spirits capable of it, but never mind those for now. I'd like to use them too if you don't mind. Under the current circumstances, I also agree we can't be picky about how we even the odds. Is that okay? You bet. Just be careful and don't overdo it, right? Thank you, Senpai. Don't worry. If I feel anything is wrong with my vitals, I'll let you know right away. That said, I think I'll be fine. I saw what it's like for everyone to fight back in Atlantis. Now it's my turn. If you'll stand over there, Mash Musashi will begin the injection and bonding procedure. And while we're doing that, I'll go over exactly what Demeter is. Here's a video feed of what's going on right now. This is Demeter, goddess of the land, aka Demeter, interstellar voyage supply and production ship. She provides the Olympus interstellar fleet with the supplies they need, and on Earth, she provides people with infinite resources. She's said to be a god who inherited the most from Gaia, one of the original prototype ships. She possesses authority over harvest, in other words, production and regeneration. While her power does consume a fair amount of magical energy, she rarely has to worry about running out thanks to the connection she, along with the other gods, have to the god-made ley line in Olympus's Crystal Mountain range. Theoretically, she can regenerate from any amount of damage, making it impossible to completely destroy her. Oh dang, so she's Majin Buu. Well, I guess since she's a machine, then the Cell might be a better comparison. She also possesses the Scream Eloisis, a destructive authority that breaks down old and dead organic matter into reusable resources. Between infinite regenerating and massively destructive, she's a very powerful opponent. There's no way you can hope to defeat her in a normal battle. I see. Yes, that is certainly about what I would expect when going up once again against one of the 12 Olympians. What about the oral dissonance you two used yesterday? It appeared to do a good job at cutting the gods off from their magical energy. That is one of the Alliance's ultimate trump cards, but it's not one we can use freely. Plus, it takes a while to charge with magical energy, so it's still out of commission right now. Not to mention the real thing is somewhere else right now. Sorry. I suppose I should have expected it wouldn't be that easy. However, we've been developing a secret weapon on the sly, the 7-link heroic spirit cannon. With it, we have a non-zero chance of actually slaying them. It's a very impressive name, but what exactly is it? Unfortunately, it wasn't ready when Tesla's group was there, but it's ready now. With the spirit cannon complete, we can finally fight back without having to cower in fear of the gods. Oh crap, is this going to be like Tales of Fantasia, where it destroys the very world it's part of to fire it? The 7-link heroic spirit cannon. I'm not typically one to get excited about weaponry, but there is something about that name that gets my heart dancing. Maybe you like the Seven's Road Magician name? Yes, the gods may have defeated us, but our loss is not made. Yeah, that's a Yu-Gi-Oh card from, I think, Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens. I'd assume so, given the 7 title. But our loss was not in vain. Our path to victory was viable, we simply weren't able to take it. But now our corpses have paved the way, and the path forward is clear. So go and be victorious. Okay, thank you guys. Now let me take it from here, we'll be here all day. Alright, so the 7-link cannon is basically a giant Super Mahatma cannon. It's a type of mystic code that all 7 of us heroic spirits pooled our magic energy making. You can even call it a magecraft weapon of sorts. It uses the nanomachines from the Olympian gods who were in coexistence faction and were defeated during the last Machia. Hades, god of the underworld, Apollo, god of the sun, Ares, god of war, Hephaestus, god of the forge. All 7 of us, along with the Collaborator, designed it to fire a pretty powerful projectile. Yeah, I think there's a lot of implications the Collaborator may be Wody May, but it's hard to say. It could even be that mysterious Romani-looking person for all we know. It should be able to expose a mechanical god's divine core with a direct hit, which will open it up to further attacks. This can work, I'm sure of it. Now let's get down to exactly how we're going to pull this off. Our target is Demeter, the mechanical god destroying Olympus' south district, advancing as we speak. It looks like she's digging deep in the ground, which means it's only a matter of time until she also destroys this base. So we have to fire the cannon before she can get the chance. According to our calculations, there are 4 optimal positions in which the cannon can inflict the most damage. Alpha, Beta, Gamma, and Delta. Our job is to lure Demeter one of these positions and score a direct hit with the cannon, after which we just wail on her. This is our surest path to victory right now. Be careful, heroic spirit cannons may technically be complete, but it can still only be fired once. If it misses, you'll be in big trouble. Injection and bonding process complete. Vitals look good. I'm all set too. This is amazing. I can feel the energy welling up inside me, magical and otherwise. As the stuff with the cannon, we're listening along too, and I think we get the gist of it. Basically, we just hit this god ship thingy with a special cannon, and then it'll be time to cut her down to size. Sounds like a plan. Now let's go and make it happen. Are you with me? Let's do it. Alright, the Operation God Destroyer, let us begin. Right, Master. Oh. There's just one last thing you should be aware of. We don't have time to get into details, but just be careful about what you say up on the surface. Down here, you can say whatever you want, but up there, make sure not to mention our base or our names. I don't get it, but I got it. I guess that it's because Zeus actually can hear us up there is what they're getting at. All set? Great. Then let's get this operation started. I have a visual on the target. Demeter is making her way through the south district, moving from the northern area to southern. She's laying waste to everything on our path. She's going to destroy the entire region unless we stop her. That's probably her game plan. If she doesn't find us here in the south, she'll keep destroying all the other districts one by one until she does. I'll say this about her plan. It's a pretty solid approach to killing us all no matter where we might be hiding. Case in point, the Alliance base is right at the southern tip underground infrastructure. These gods don't do anything by halves, that's for sure. If nothing else, I'll give them points for style. Last time, the Demeter stopped her assault after she'd killed all the heroic spirits above ground. But this time, we don't know what her ultimate objective is. For all we know, she might really intend to destroy the entire city. Either way, we're not going to take this lying down. No way in hell I'm going to let this god destroy the city or wipe out our base. What's the status on the 7-link spirit cannon? It's all set up on the rooftop of a disguised skyscraper in the middle of the south. We're aiming at a point Alpha as we speak. Find a way to lure Demeter there. We'll open fire as soon as we have her in our sights. Oh! Please get back in the storage space, foe. Let me go over this one more time. Demeter is not acting alone. She's being accompanied by a number of escorts directly beneath her. Specifically, it's a swarm of destructive machines and steel demonic beasts. You should be able to draw Demeter's attention by finding these escorts and destroying them one at a time. Our analysis tells us that Demeter relies exclusively on her overwhelming powerful abilities on combat, so she has no understanding of strategy or tactics as applied to battle. Of course, she was made as a production and storage unit, so she wasn't designed to know combat. So it was likely only Ares was built with combat information, and I guess Zeus, since he's supposed to lead them. So the plan is to hit nearby enemies hard, draw Demeter's attention, and lead her to Point Alpha, correct? Fascinating, most fascinating indeed. It seems phase 1 of the anti-machine god strategy can be described as we won't know until we try. Holmes? Where did that come from? I'm shocked too, Senpai. I can't recall Holmes saying something like that, something so cavalier before. It almost sounded like he just said something for the hell of it. I assure you, I was being quite sincere. Does he usually say that kind of stuff, or was he hitting the pipe of his when we were looking? Now, no. While I do very much enjoy a good pipe, I'm quite sober at the moment. Nor am I anyone else disguised as me. That seemed oddly specific. Now, more importantly, I'm sensing a number of magical energy signals not too far from us. Am I the only one? You're right, a group of Demeter's escorts. They appeared about 200 meters away. And Demeter yourself was about 2200. We were close enough to begin the operation. Oh! So, Alex, what's your next move? Master, we should get ready for battle. This is the only one we can. Understood. Prelim time, fine by me. Very well, let's begin phase 2 of the anti-machine god strategy, the only move we can make. Anti-personnel annihilation device. Large-scale annihilator. I should be able to annihilate this pretty easily. Damn cat with full grails and gold foes should be more than enough damage to kill all this, especially since she's, yeah, she's MP5, so she's definitely got enough power to do this. I just have to not be, an ignoramus. Alright. Theoretically, I only need one shot. Alright, let's do it. Funny thing about Tammo Cat, by the way, when using her against beast-type enemies like Gotia and, Tiamat in the Part 1 storyline, she was actually massively tanky. Well, I guess she does have high HP. And, of course, her NP heals herself, so... she just barely didn't kill the large-scale annihilator. Let's fix that, shall we? But yeah, since she has access to self-heal and has a high HP pool, she's actually she is surprisingly tanky for Berserker. Although it's easier to appreciate whenever she's against something where her Berserker weakness is not currently active, which is very rare. Usually it's just specific story bosses. Like I said, Gotia and Tiamat were the only ones so far. Should be a few more in the next couple of years at the very least, though, and that'll be nice. An AoE isn't nearly as strong as a single target against a boss, but if self-sustain is good, that's Man, oh man, I feel great. These Ares are really These nanomachines are really amazing. Confirming multiple hostiles down. These Athena nanomachines are amazing too. I've been able to raise the Orton Axis input by 90%. Master, with these on our side, I think we should have no problem going toe-to-toe with Olympus forces. However, we still need more power to face an Olympic god. Mechanical god. In this case, we require the 7-link cannon to break through her shielding. Let's not forget, it's only a matter of time until the troops you just defeated regenerate. So keep making your way through them until you reach Demeter. Onward. Ah, how sad, how tragic. Death is sorrowful, endings are such misery. Demeter's changing direction. Instead of heading southern, she's heading eastern? Why is that? Why isn't she trying to use her unstoppable regenerative offensive on us? A change of plans. Forget about points Alpha and Beta. Hurry to point Gamma. Demeter's escorts are reconstructing themselves and changing formation. Try to get their attention by hitting them again. Multiple hostiles detected. The reconstructed escorts are making their way. Good grief, talk about our loyal guard dogs. Still, this would work in our favor. Let's make extra sure to get Demeter's attention this time. Are you ready for another round of strenuous combat, ladies and gentlemen? Of course. Battle position, everyone. Right, Master. Prepare to resume battle operations.
Well done. それともレイヤこういうのどうだつまり連中だな他にやることないの
See. Well, it's not a big deal. Lucky for me, most story quests don't have 3 waves, although I guess I could always just Arash the first wave and have Tamacat handle the last 2.
Good morning.
Origin Hydra. Without a kidna to birth these new monsters, I guess they're using, they're just using good Demeter. Oh crap, that's not enough.
こういうのどうだ
Guess I need to do this. Okay, good. Her NP is charged now. I wouldn't have used my Mystic Code's attack if I had known that was gonna come. Well, no matter. We'll have this. She can't get her extra attack this way, but she should finish off the Origin Hydra with her NP now. Yeah, I forgot. Without 3 enemies, she won't get enough refund on her NP to do that. Unfortunately, Tamamo Cat is not a Scotty Looper no matter what. And believe me, I tried. I borrowed Neo Brides. I tried to boost using the Mystic Code that boosts NP generation. Just can't do it. Fran can do it, but that's because Fran has Galvanism. I do believe I know who this is. Once again, a force support. That's fine. Pretty sure There, we broke the second wave escorts. Oh, we can so do this. Seriously, these War God Nano Whatsits are freaking amazing. I'm not about to convert from Buddhism anytime soon, but I can totally get the appeal. Thanks for helping out. Anyway, that ought to have gotten Demi's attention by... How sad, how tragic. Death is sorrowful, ending such misery. Oh, my beloved children, my dullish precious children. What the hell? She's ignoring us? It seems Demeter does not get involved in her escort's affairs. I suppose they must be all operating independently then. These escorts are only slowing us down. If we lure Demeter to Point Gamma, it seems we'll have to get out in front of her and make her notice us. She may have a limitless capacity for regeneration, but even she cannot ignore a direct attack to her face. So he wants to directly attack the god. I'll even go as far as to say that's the third phase of our anti-god strategy, is hit them as hard as you can. So that's the wisdom of Sherlock Holmes, a great sage of proper human history has to offer. That's what a reckless, foolhardy plan, but the premise is sound. Alright, Mash, Musashi, Alex, the rest is up to you. I don't even think about trying to defeat her. Just holding out against her will be more than fiendishly difficult than you could possibly imagine. Before the plan to succeed, you have to evade her attacks and hold out best you can and lead her to the Point Gamma. How sad, how tragic. Death is sorrowful. She's been repeating the same crap for a while. God, yes. Master Orator, not so much. Well, I bet most modern-day kitchen appliance AIs are more chattier than her. She could learn a thing or two from a good kabuki show. Alright, that's all the bluffing I can muster. What do you think? There's no way she's a match for your motor mouth, Musashi. I knew it. Let's keep this attitude up for one last punch. Demeter is approximately 2,600 meters away from our position, deploying rapid movement to initiate battle. Who? Chaldea, my naughty children. They must be punished. Now let me check the stats here. Quick Arts and Buster, 1 HP which is 0, recover and live once more. Demeter sure has a lot of HP. Let me check here. Core, resistance to all attacks, immune to all debuffs. Recover HP, and when HP is 0, one who crosses the Starry Ocean. Increases damage dealt to servants who are star. I believe Kentoki is Earth, so I should be fine in that case. Alright. Mash used Moldy Camelot. It's not as good as Lord Camelot, since Lord Camelot gives a better, generally better buffs, but... Authority, the Great Land. Almost looks like a brain inside. See how much damage I can do. Oh dear. That's not pleasant, is it? Alright, if I'm literally doing 0 damage, this has to be a scripted fight. And I know I said that about a bunch of fights that were actually not scripted last time, but this one has to be it because I'm actually doing 0 damage. There's no way they can expect you to get a kill like this. Alright, Demeter is when we get to the true fight against Demeter, it's generally held as one of the most difficult fights in the entire game, so I will not hesitate to use my command seals. This fight is pretty much one of the big reasons I decided to hold off, well, that, and I wanted to stream some other games first, so if I have to spam my command seals to get through this chapter, I will. But it shouldn't come to that. Yeah, 200,000 HP healing means, yeah, this is absolutely a script fight. How sad, how tragic. That the sorrowful endings are misery. Why do you hurry to your deaths? Shatter. I somehow managed to withstand her large-scale energy emanation. The Ortonax's auto-maintenance still working. Theoretically, I should be able to take 2 more strikes. Are you alright, Master? I'm fine, thanks, Mash. Of course. There, we finally have the big gal's attention, although not only is her armor super tough, it regenerates before your eyes, huh? We'll obviously never get anywhere like this. We gotta fight mass to mass. How's that part going? It isn't much, but she has slightly altered her course to face us. Assuming she doesn't further alter, she should arrive at Point Gamma in due time. So far, so good as they say, but I can't but wonder, how many more times can we weather that assault? Even with mashes and considerable defenses, I am also forced to conclude 2 more strikes is our limit. Suffice to say, things are not looking good. Foe. Damn it, this is bad. Enemy reinforcements are headed this way from the east, and fast. It's the Olympus official guards. Depending on the numbers, you may not be a match for them, even in your powered-up states. So you're the Chaldeans. The demons who would defy Lady Demeter and turn their blades against the Gods of Olympus, who would cut you down, women, children, stir. They make it here through all the explosions, alright. They came back to life. Man, as if Demeter wasn't a handful on her own, now we got a bunch of tough soldiers who don't even fear their own deaths to deal with too. See, way more than I can count. Saying things aren't looking good would be kind of an understatement. Alright. Hey, Musashi, how are you gonna get out of this one? Divine Leyline Spiriton. Thou art the harvest that reaps the stars. Dang, this chapter is really long. Oh, this chapter, the section name has a lot of parts. We're on part 4 of that. When I gaze up at the sky, I'm able to forget the horrible atrocities taking place beneath me, if only for a moment. My beloved humans, my darling humans, born for the sole purpose of being loved. I'm so sorry I'm such a terrible mother, taking life as readily as I give it. Countless lives burst apart and vanish. It's okay, there's no need to worry. This is the eternal cycle. Slaughter, rebirth, slaughter, rebirth. So what significance could there be in speeding that cycle up a bit here? Yes, that's right, isn't it? Being alive, being dead, it's all the same. There's no significance. All the same. Huh? Persephone, is that you? In that case, mother, I guess you won't mind if I stay dead too. Uh, oh, so she refused to allow Demeter to revive her after they took out Hades. Hades probably had one of the more stable relationships of all the Greek gods, which is funny because his is also one of the least consensual, since you know Persephone was kidnapped and put there after all. Lady Demeter. What the? Why is Demeter attacking her own soldiers? Over half the Olympus official guards been wiped out after being caught by the attack. There's something different about that last scream. Could Demeter be malfunctioning? Curse you, cowardly demons! Those gods from foreign lands warned us you'd use some kind of trick. I don't know what you did to Lady Demeter, but please prepare to die. Wait, you stabbed me in the back? You coward. Oh, shut up. Whoever that was took out Olympian soldier like he was nothing. Yeah, it's just gonna come back to life as long as the gods are around, right? Then I ain't gonna feel bad about killing. Wait, never mind, that doesn't work when you're up against me. Looks like you're gonna be staying dead forever then. Sucks to be you, huh, chumps? Hey, you Chaldean shitheads, been a while. Anus. Damn straight. Did you just save us? Well, yeah, as an obvious idiot. You know, funny story. When I first ran into Canis, someone was, and I saw the picture. I seriously thought she was one of the Vera from Final Fantasy XIV, because at the time they had just been introduced in was it Stormblood? No, they didn't become playable until Shadowbringers. But a number of NPCs showed up in Stormblood, I guess to hype up the player base for their release in Shadowbringers. But yeah. I seriously did not realize this was a Fate Grand Order character at first. As far as I'm concerned, you got these piece of shit Olympian soldiers are both my enemies. But you're Odime's servant. Yeah. And you said you were going to kill us. Damn right I did. So I'm confused. Fofo? Excellent sneak attack back there, Canis, was it? Wow, beauty and spear weeder. Judging from the divinely rugged spear play, I'm guessing your connection to the Greek god of the sea. Call me a beauty again, I'll kill ya. Ah, come on, wouldn't it be lying if I didn't call beauty I see it? Does that mean it's okay for you to lie whenever you talk? Oh man, that's gonna make me feel bad. The hell? Don't even think about lying to me. You try it, I'll cut your eyes and turn your skull into a habitat for a damn octopus. Right, when it's settled, we're gonna be the kind of friends who can tell each other anything. Nice to meet you, Canis. Seeing you mow down was like poetry in motion. Hang on, shouldn't those soldiers come back by now? Ha! No, they're not coming back. I already told you I'm a divine spirit, damn it. Right now I got a sea god backing me up. Sure, I may be a servant from proper human history, and that's the version of Poseidon. So that's the version of Poseidon that's backing me up, but he's still a god, and his domain is still the sea. Poseidon's the same kind of ship god as Demeter, and he's used to be just as much a god of the land as Gaia was back when humanity wasn't worth shit. So of course I can use his authority over land too, which means I can easily neutralize the blessing that's keeping these punks immortal. Testing. This is Stormbody, you read me? Excellent work. You got video again. I trust you can hear me as well. Director Gordal. Hey, if it isn't Goff. Off. Glad to see you're alright, Mash, and that little furball sneak away from the ship again. I see you managed to meet up with Musashi. Thank goodness, reading loud and clear, Director. Ah, I see Canis managed to find you. Good. Oh, so she was the one who went to them. We gave Canis communications relay that should boost our connection and let us communicate in real time. It's a special device our technical advisor put together to compensate for Olympus' environment. Well, tell her I said thanks then. Very well, also told her to get some rest already. Now then, I've got a fairly good grasp on your situation. Really, it's hard to miss the giant machine god destroying the city, given, well, she's, well, giant. And knowing all of you, and I was all but certain you'd be leaving the Tree of Emptiness aside in favor of doing something about her. Am I right or am I right? Just to be clear, you can start with the praise whenever you'd like. At any rate, I don't know how much you're currently struggling, but right now we've got Canis on our side. Use the extra help as you see fit. Then I want you to defeat every last one of those damn machine gods and cut down the Tree of Emptiness. Got a death wish something? Who said any of you could use me? Oh, well, let's not forget, Canis, you do owe me a debt. In fact, I distinctly remember you admitting defeat in the face of my overwhelming skillful negotiation techniques, saying you'd do whatever we ask. You're a divine spirit, are you not? Surely you'd not go back on your own word, would you? I'm not clear on the particulars as how this came to pass, but I trust we can now count Canis among our ranks. Precisely, Administrative Advisor. Now go down and use Canis however you need to take that god down. And next time you talk about using me, I'm gonna skewer you alive and feed you the nearest whale. Save those sorts of threats for the shark fin in the cockpit. Still, the poor choice of words, so I'll be more careful in the future. Eesh, you punks really dipshit like that as your commander? I don't know, I'd say Gordolf has been a pretty big highlight to the entire Lostbelt storyline so far. Alright everyone, now that you know Canis is on our side, you should be up to speed. Try to get along best you can. Ooh, so Canis is on our side now. I don't know how this happened, but if it's true, it's wonderful news. Having someone as strong as Canis on our side would be a huge help. Don't get it twisted, Caldan. Says I owe Gordolf Music there a debt, so I'm just putting my spear in your hand so I pay him back. Once that's done, I'm still gonna kill the absolute shit out of all of you, no matter what else happens. Really? Are you sure about that? What am I trying to say? You think I don't mean what I say? Oh no, of course not. I can tell you're serious. They're not really an ally at all. At all. I just mean giving out bad things around here. You may not be around long enough to pay back your debt. So what? I think I'm gonna die or something? I wouldn't go that far, but maybe. I mean, take a look. Impossible. Is that Lord Canis? No, it can't be. It must be an illusion cast. All hands, destroy the fake Canis. We can't let her any more trouble. Trouble for Demeter. Yeah, I got it. Less talk, more spear, right? Alright, Calday. Dipshits, it's your lucky day. I'll let you command me in this fight. Then when you're done, you better make sure none of these Olympian soldiers are left alive. Up to 4 can be selected for this quest. You know, this would be a lot easier if I wasn't forced into... You know what? Never mind. So I need an AoE Saber. Who do I have that can work? Oh right, who was I spamming the last time? Waver? You know, yeah, Jason in the back line still is fine. Bomb C is good here. Begin battle with MP charge 50, increasing MP gain 50%. Generic. I'm glad NPC supports get these generic craft essences. Before Lostbelt 4, they didn't have any, and so they were absolutely horrible to keep with you. And that's because some earlier chapters like Shimosa also had formation restricted like this, which forced you to use characters even if they weren't optimal. Oh joy, I sure like using Musashi against an archer boss. That isn't fake difficulty, I don't know what is. I guess to be fair, it did work once in Atlantis. Like, at one point you have a solo battle of a Super Orion, I call him Chad Orion, against Canis. Canis has class advantage, but because Super Orion is so powerful, it actually doesn't matter. Let's get Waver out here. Poseidon's Blessing. Remove enemies' protection, increase immobilization. It was a seal during attacks. Oh my, that is really good. However, I'm pretty sure I should be able to finish this with just... this isn't ideal, but this will be fine, I think. Alright, Lakshmi Bai. Do it. We're counting on you. Oh, they're all still alive. Balls. Oh dang, yeah. Even Canis' regular attacks are doing that. Alright, the next enemy's gonna come out, and I'm gonna use Canis' NP. Monstrous Strength. Wait, really? That she just has Monstrous Strength? Huh. While power creep in Fate Grand Order is slow, it does happen on a regular basis. Like... yeah, this is more like what a modern skill does. Apply a state where increase your attack, normal attacks. Decrease attack, and also decrease attack from a different enemy. Reduce your damage taken, and also apply guts. Yeah, but usually most skills have at least 2 effects these days, so it's really weird to see just 1. Here we go. Yeah, his attack is crap tier now. Your vow isn't doing enough. Lakshmi Bai, finish it. I'll be honest, I'm usually not too big on Canis because throughout the Lostbelt storyline, she's felt like, I don't know, kind of like a Gilgamesh type character without having to actually use Gilgamesh himself. But honestly, after seeing Castor and Pollux, I've come around. At least she's got while she has that arrogant personality, at least that's an engaging thing. Even if you don't like the character, that's engaging with the character. The twins just make me, I believe this is the last fight against Demeter. So here we go. Half a day earlier, inside of the Sorum border. Please, Director, stop. We don't have to do this. Really, why in the world didn't you restrain the servant when you had the chance? You couldn't have known that what we had back then. Known what we had back then when that Nemo Marine picked up the mysterious magical energy signal. But why the recovery pod treatment once you did, without restraints no less? If that wasn't bad enough, you went up and gave her a regular bed when she healed up. This is nuts. I don't know what you're thinking, but I'm sure as hell not going in that room. Believe me, I understand the risks involved. However, the fact of the matter is, this could be our only chance of obtain something we desperately need. Remember, we still have yet to hear back from the Master. Or he could have failed to rendezvous with the heroic spirits before us, and we may be looking for a way out of a precarious situation. And he may be looking for a way out of a precarious situation as we speak. And if so, what can we do? As things stand now, we have nothing and no one we can send to help him. So it is imperative, absolutely imperative, we find some means to fight back immediately. I swear, Gordolf might become my favorite of the characters in this entire game. Well, yeah, sure, I get all that, but that doesn't make her a good option. I mean, she's just gonna kill us when she wakes up. Oh, stuff it. My inner tool is telling me to go for it, so I'm going for it. I've come this far without second-guessing myself, and I'll start now. Sometimes you just gotta go with your gut. I'll present her with these luscious, freshly baked croissant and do whatever it takes to win us over to our side. Don't try and stop me, Pompadour. Here goes nothing. I take it you're awake now. My name is Gordolf Musik. I'm also known as Guzik the Phoenix and the Brave. I'm current director of Chaldea, though I'm sure you could tell as much by looking at me. I apologize for this intrusion, but we've been monitoring your vitals, so I know you're conscious enough to converse. I have a nice fluffy croissant for you here, which I offer with no ulterior motive whatsoever. Oh, shut up, Gorderoy, or whatever the hell it is. I heard the whole thing. Yeah, so that does have a nice strong ring to it. I must correct you. Gordolf, not Gorderoy. You gave the order to pick me up? That is correct. And you put me in that recovery what's it without restraining me? That is correct. And you also let me sleep in a real room instead of a jail cell? Yes, that is correct. I don't get it, I'm Canis. Remember how I swore I'd kill every last one of you dumbasses? You must have known you chose to help me. That means you got a death wish? Quit nodding and say something, damn it. What are you, some kind of drunk freshwater muscle? Answer me. If you don't, I'll take your sign's confirmation. Of course I don't want to die. I'm standing here because I believe we can cut a deal. I saved your life, so you owe me a debt. Are you serious? You're damn right I'm serious. We're on the brink of death. Hell, you are practically were dead. So no, you wouldn't be here right now if it weren't for my bravery and cunning calculations. That said, my original plan was only to heal you a little bit and negotiate while you were weak. I never expected you to recover so much so fast. Oh damn it, Gordolf, of all the mistakes you could make. You want to take advantage of me while I'm still weak? That's extortion, not negotiation. Really, is that how it comes across? Damn straight. It's no different from telling a prisoner of war they'll be your slave if they want to stay alive. Oh sheesh, I never thought of it before, but she's right. Nice. It's way easier to believe than saving me out of the goodness of your heart. I've straight up murdered you if you try to pull that good Samaritan bullshit. The plan's screwed though, so I'm pretty much all better now. I don't know what kind of magecraft or mystico to use to heal me, but right now I got authority over both the land and the sea. Once I've smacked on a little magical energy, my spirit origin will pretty much heal itself. See, I'm good as new. I don't need your help anymore. So how'd you want to negotiate? How about that now? Because from where I stand, you got shit for leverage. Well, there's the fact I did save your life. I heard that one already. What else you got? Nothing? If it's got nothing, right now, well, I thought you didn't want to die. You'd better speak up quickly or my spear might slip, or otherwise I might kill you with my bare hands. Which part should I crush first? Heart, skull, maybe throat, and then get creative? Come on, you fat prick, say something. Don't you got anything else to throw at me? We also defeated Poseidon. Huh? What? Stormborder. Our current state-of-the-art ship defeated Poseidon, the mechanical god of the sea protecting Atlantis. What do you think of that? Your Cain is from Greek mythology, correct? Surveying Poseidon's destruction must make you feel pretty good, right? I can't believe this. Damn it, I can't believe all the people you Chaldeans beat me to it. That shitty punk-ass bastard might not be the Poseidon I know from proper human history, but still, I was supposed to be one to finish that asshole off. Alright, that aside, you. You beat Poseidon, solid card to play. You might still have some skill at this negotiation stuff after all. Thank you. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I'll be nice and hold off killing for 5 minutes. 49. 4 minutes and 59 seconds. Oh no, just a minute. To work up. You never think I worked up the courage, it only brought me 5 minutes leeway. You gotta be proud, you got 5 whole minutes. Make it count. Go run for help. Run away. Not that'll do you good. Call for help, which also wouldn't do you any good. So, Gordolf, what are you gonna do? Since 5 minutes have passed, you're gonna kill me? No, not just me, everyone on the ship. Yep. Oh, well then, I'll have to find a way to stop you, whatever it takes. Oh yeah, what are you gonna do, mustache? Or just want to make a run for it? Look, you might be an idiot, but I can tell you're not completely stupid. So I must know that I'll give you 5 minutes. I mean, you are the only one getting the head start, right? Be that as may, I was a director, I have responsibility. Give your shit about that. Besides, what's responsibility compared to your own life? Just forget about your allies and run for your life like the coward you are. Nobody blame you, especially since they're kind of busy being dead. Be that as may, I have my responsibility. Who cares? What's this, Commander's pride? Alright, last chance. Get out of here before I change my mind. If you don't get one life off the hook, fine. I feel kind of bad. I'll start. You're wrong. This is about my responsibility as Commander is all. No, you got it wrong. This goes way further than any of my time as Commander. I know, damn it. It was me. It was my fault the world ended. You think I'm to blame for Chaldea's disruption, or at least partially. You don't think I think about that every day? Chaldea's staff didn't do anything wrong. The incineration of humanity wasn't their fault, and I damn well know it. They didn't have a choice. They had to properly fix the apocalypse with just a few dozen people. Even then, I knew it, and I still insist it was their fault. They were amazing. And if I hadn't come in and taken over as director and screwed everything up, things might have gone differently. So, there you have it. I don't want to do this. I'm terrified to even try, but I have to see this through. You see, I'm the most important thing to me, by a lot. That's what... I don't want to be a traitor to humanity. I don't want to end up like some useless coward. Chubby. And it's why I can't run away even now. Even if it means I'm dying here, I won't back down. Do you hear me, Canis? I'm standing my ground because I think we can get a deal. I saved your life. I defeated the sea god you hate, even if it wasn't the one you know from human history. And what's more... Well... What's more... 2 minutes. 1 minute, 59. And what's more, I've got a freshly baked croissant right here. Hey, it's crispy on the outside, soft and flaky on the inside. So delicious. Oh, so that's why you've had this time? I thought it was some kind of poison. It's food? That's right. It was made of tons of butter and has all the calories you could want. I've also got milk and tea to go with if you'd like. Croissants are delicious, but they can make you feel parched. Ah. Are you serious? Are you trying to win our experiment over with food? Are you actually trying to negotiate with me? Kane's the tyrant, now Kara's the tyrant spirit with a freaking piece of bread. That's the funniest damn thing I've ever heard in I don't even know how long. It's too bad Wodime didn't talk to you more. I've never heard anyone so instant in my life. Surely it can't be that funny. I mean, even Tool used to love these croissants. Give me that. Just give it here already. Oh, munch, munch. Ah, so that's a croissant. Thanks, it was good. I was good. Not only that, I haven't laughed as hard as I manifested. So I just say you won this little exchange of ours. Alright, Music, I officially owe you one. Name the thing you want me to do, and I'll do it. Really, you mean it. A lot of things, but I'm not a liar. I'll never kill anyone that so much of a warm reception. I'm not a damn oh. Centaur. Oh my. Hey, imagine Chiron wouldn't be too happy to hear that. Or maybe he'd say his species doth protest too much. Who knows? Might not act like it, but I'm still king. Go ahead, name your request, and I'll do anything that's reasonably within my power. Permission to speak freely. Sure. Can I make a second request? One to return the favor as I did with the recovery pod. What do you say? You're serious. Fact is, I need help. I can't shake this feeling. Things are going very badly out there. Did Alex's team manage to meet up with the numerous allies, like did Atlantis, or did the heroic spirits that got here ahead of us meet an untimely end? If it turns out to be the latter, we need you more than anything. That is to say, we need your help desperately, and while I'm at it, I also want the very thing you've been holding so tightly in your right hand ever since we met you. My right hand? Oh yeah, I guess I do have something there, don't I? I also grabbed a hold of it when I was floating in the sea. That's a fragment of the moon goddess, complete with our Miss Nanomachine. It's a bloody miracle you happen to find it. Please let us have it. It's the most important that we have it. Go nuts? I sure as shit don't have any need for this thing. Ah, what a waste. Oh, phew, it's okay. I don't know what would happen if it broke. Oh, right. I guess it wouldn't, would it? Thank you, Canis. I appreciate this more than I could say. Now, at least we have a means to fight back. Excuse me for a moment. Alright, because Artemis's cannon was able to harm even the other gods. What are you doing back out here, Chubby? Perfect timing, Manuel. Well, I need you to bring this to my technical advisor at once. After that, I want you to use every bit of electricity the Stormboarder has to contact Sion back at the Wandering Sea, even if only for a few seconds. Whatever you do, when you do, you are to tell her we have the last material. Phew, and with that, my work is done. My subordinates can take it from here. Well then, now things settle down a bit, there's something I need to ask of you. This is nothing about learning our enemy's strategy or figuring out his weakness or anything like that. I just want to know out of personal curiosity. Disbelief? No, this is really out of my pride as a fellow noble. What was your master Wodime like as a person? Could you ask her to tell me your personal thoughts on him? Present time. At any rate, the important thing to know is that Canis is not your enemy. I'll tell you about the bond of trust we forged later. Alex Mash, you two are the last hope for restoring proper human history. It is for that eminently logical reason I've risked my own life to help you. Since my gamble has paid off, it's time for you two to take the proverbial ball and run with it. Okay, we'll get Demeter to point Gamma, one way or the other. Right, Master, resuming combat now. If she doesn't want to follow us to her destination, we'll have to drag her there, kicking and screaming. Don't worry, I'll give everything we've got to make that happen. If 4 swords aren't enough, I'll break my immovable 5th to finish the job. You're counting your help too, Canis? Even though if you do this, you'll be throwing your lot with the anti-Olympus Lostbelt forces? Huh. Fine with me. If they didn't want me switching sides, they shouldn't have stabbed me in the back in the first place. Care to elaborate? Oh, shut up. Forget I said anything. All I need to do is kick God's fat ass, right? Okay, Gordolf, time for you to see what a powerful asset I can be. Don't you dare miss a second of this. If you as much as blink, I'll kill on the spot. Now check this shit out. Fly kindness. A bird with golden wings bursts forth. Its violent shockwave rocks even Demeter's massive core. It's not to bring her down, only to make her lurch, yet even so all of her desperate parts begin shaking to help keep her balance. Once, twice, one more lurch and she'll be where the God Destroyer needs to be, but it doesn't happen. We're not done yet. Setting Ortonax to maximum power, preparing to pierce Demeter's base with the bunker bolt. Ha! There, Demeter's at point gamma. Now's our chance, firing our final weapon. 7-link heroic spirit cannon. Direct hit. We hit her. It sounds like she's screaming. Hear that? It's working. You're right, I can see cracks of the blasted her outer shell. Way to go, 7-link heroic spirit cannon. You actually managed to crack open the super tough god armor. It's not over yet. Do not let your guard down. The blast still didn't manage to expose Demeter's divine core. I can't believe it. Her armor's even tougher than I thought. I hate to say it, but I'm impressed. I can't believe she managed to take a direct hit from the 7-link heroic cannon and remain intact. That said, her armor isn't invincible, especially now that we got Canis' spear negating her healing authority. We completely got a shot at beating her now. Come on, there's nothing to be afraid of. Mash, Alex. Don't let up. We'll keep hitting her with everything we got. Understood, Master. Setting Ornex output 80%. I'll keep the attack making use of the nanomachine's effect. So I got a chance to kill a god now? Perfect, let's do this thing. Better believe I'm gonna use you for my own purposes, Chaldean dumbasses. Oh, was that Nikola Tesla I saw? Is he one of the heroic spirits guy before us? Does mean I was working myself up over nothing? I don't recognize the boy or girl either. Well, no matter. Our top priority is taking down Demeter. Leave the spot to me, everyone. Clear? Begin the attack. Alright, no matter. Begin the attack, everyone. Of course, as a force support, why wouldn't it? Please support the starter. Oh, you son of a... Well, screw you too. Yeah, if it wasn't obvious, I'm gonna immediately swap out Canis for Skadoodles here. Although I guess I could use Canis as well. Canis seems to get a bonus against these enemies. Mechanical God Advent. I assume that's supposed to be Greek for Demeter. What's just going on? Why don't you just give up? Remove. Ooh, there we are. Actually, yeah, let's use Demeter first. Canis first, and I'll swap to Skadoodles afterward. I just noticed the shield with a sword and infinity symbol. Does this mean that we could sacrifice Canis as many times as we wish to summon other monsters? That would be quite useful, actually. Muster Brave Chain from Canis should be more than powerful enough to break that first bar, given her story-related power-ups. Okay, that wasn't nearly as good as I was hoping. Oh, perfect. Quick brave chain for Rider Toki. This is actually perfect for me. And for the record, I'm not going to hesitate using command seals on this fight if I have to, but with the Rider Toki at full power, I theoretically shouldn't need it. In theory. Yep, overgage. Oh, dang. Here we are, first bar broken.
剣能を使っても
How sad, how
砕けは
sad.
しません
Oh, you dick!
悲しきかな悲しきかなごめんなさいね
This should get rid of that. Does this last for turns or 3 uses? That's a little annoying, isn't it? Can I stun Demeter? Gain a turn. Yes, I can, actually. 3 turns. A little annoying.
Okay, cool. Smash! Sonja, Air howling! Golden Drive! Smash! Rock and roll!
Alright, my front line's about to get completely obliterated by the boss, but if I break this bar, it'll be worth it, because Canis should theoretically be able to finish it. There we go. Oh, come on, how did that not crit? Damn it. That lost crit has just cost me the entire fight. Connecting Divine Core. Rousing Divine Core. Cry my lament. That's not a scream. I really didn't want to do this again. Damn it, that missing an 80% crit cost me the entire damn fight. There's no way I can do it now. Not without using a command seal anyways. But I don't want to reset the fight, that's just going to waste time. Well, I can at least use this to, yeah, get Canis' NP charged. Confusion recovery guts. Jason, use your buff. Use your heal on Canis as well. Alright, let's do it this way since Jason probably has the best crit chance right now. Grieving Mother EX. That was the Let me check something while we're here. She's just healing. Let me check something here. What the? me just check something here. This is section... Alright, yeah, there isn't another boss fight immediately after this. My concern was, before I use my command seals, I wanted to be safe and go, okay, is this going to be a situation where I actually... Here we are. I don't mind, like I said, from the start I would not mind using command seals, but I also wanted to avoid, you know, wasting them. In case this turned out to just be a warm-up and there was another Demeter fight after.
剣能を使っても砕けはしません。悲しきは死。死は終わり。悲しきは死。死は終わり。はい。
I guess I don't have a choice with this. Her NP isn't going to do anything because I'm about to lose and have to command seal the fight. Honestly, Demeter wasn't too bad until her final break bar. The final one here is absolutely nuts. Alright, here we go. This is the one fight I was prepared for the entire time. Yeah, her first two break bars were no issue whatsoever. It's just this last one's really frustrating. I need to waste this, I'm sorry, but I need the damage boost. You know, I should probably just use Rider Toki for this because he can do this. What the? 0? Damn it. I thought she... Oh, damn it. Okay, that's BS. None of these guys can survive it. Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. Hold on, I'm just gonna restart here, that fight, because I now know I need to use some hard defense there. Or because I didn't realize that her charge gain gave her... I guess it must give her a full 3 bars. Three damn bars. There's a even Rapid Words of Divine only gives there's a enemy servants 2. Alright, Demeter. Back to Demeter. Alright. Oh, I actually don't have a way to defend against this. Well, I can save Canis at the very least. This is a waste of the charge, but I need to try and make everyone survive. What's the overcharge effect on Canis' NP again? Increase NP strength. And what NP level is it? 5? Yeah. Alright. Alright, Canis does get a damage bonus against... but I'm pretty sure Rider Toki has the highest damage here, so let's do it this way. I'm highly likely to still lose my entire front line after this, so I don't know what I'll do if that's the case. Here we go. Wait, I thought I heard my Discord going off.
んじゃかっ飛ばそうか
Alright, let's go.
ハウリングゴールデンドライ
Alright, there we are.
我が剣能よ
Oh, it gives her 3 bars, not all of them. Interesting.
塵になりなさい
That is a very powerful crit.
任せな風になるぜ
こういうのどうだ
チキンレースだ
Let's see here. Does Canis still have the damage plus before inflicting increasing enemy attack? Ooh, I can actually use this to my advantage.
おう
オーケー振り落と
いいんじ
される
ゃねえ
If I can debuff her twice, that should make her attack not nearly as painful. With the damage cut down, this also should deal a lot more damage.
ハウリングゴールデンドライ
We theoretically should be able to survive this. In theory. Alright, 2 attack downs. Can I do
破
this?
壊機構起動神格接続神格霊気我が叫び我が嘆きスクリームエルシス
Oh, I did it! I was able to survive it thanks to that!
二度と悲しきかな悲しきかな塵になりなさい
Alright, so I need to deal more than...
うるせえな行くぞあ
I need to charge the NP here.
無駄だ計略だ
剣能を使っても砕けはしません
Oh, lovely.
死は終わり
She gets
悲しき
free
かな
healing. That isn't massively frustrating at all. Okay, good. Canis survived that. She's not gonna survive again, I can tell you that much, but it doesn't need to.
全て受けたまわった待ってね
Here we go.
これぞ大軍師の究極
This is mostly to reduce her charge. Yeah, the charge loss is the main reason I'm doing Unrelenting Formation there. Oh, but I also cleared the debuff immunity at
見てる
least.
かポセイドン誰も彼も俺の高さには届かねえ大海流せ
That was barely any damage, but I guess it does at least.
我が剣能よ
Oh, lovely.
悲しきかな
悪いライダー
ごめんなさいね
I need... Scotty! I actually think we might be able to win this.
どれにしようかな
It's not a guarantee, but I think we might be able to do this.
古きルール
Here we go. Now, Gate of Sky doesn't do much, so what charge with the overcharge on for mashes again? Increased defense. I guess that's a good one here. Because I absolutely need Rider Toki to do this. I think he can win, but he needs his NP twice. And that's going to be a bit of a tall order right now, I'm going to be honest. But if his next one isn't... If I can get a Rider Toki Brave Chain after this, it's over.
レートオブスカイ神明凍結
Mold
天下
Camelot.
これは多くの道多くの願いを受けた幻想の城こうせよモールだ
Here we go. We'll see if all my work was for naught.
そんじゃかっ飛ばそうかエアハウリングゴールデンドライ
That might be it. We might have won. We did. Oh,
剣能を
right.
使っても砕けはしません悲しきかな悲しきかな悲しきかな悲しきかな
I am completely out of options. I don't have anything else.
任せな風になるぜ
内熱衝撃板装填します
I've already used my command spells, so I don't have anything else. I can't even swap with someone else to let them take the hit.
内熱衝撃板装填します
Well, here goes nothing. If he gets 10% and 30% is a shitty crit rate, but if he gets any of them, I could probably win. And not even close.
大陸級破砕機構起動神格接続神格霊気我が叫び我が嘆きスクリームエルシス
Oh, you bitch!
二度と悲しきは死は終わりすぐに殺しますから
Jason's my last DPS? Really? I genuinely don't think I can win this anymore, but... Well, let's see how it goes. Oh. Let's go. Alright, Jason, show me what you can do. Of course he misses that crit. Yeah, not even 10,000 is a little, Remember, she heals 25k each turn. Well, that's something. Yeah, Jason is, he ain't powerful enough. What am I gonna do here? I can buy a turn, but that's not gonna do much because I don't have anything I can do. And it didn't work. Well, at least I wasted that, but I'm pretty sure everyone's dead. Fortunately, I think this is the end. Still gonna throw everything I can at her. 0 damage. Oh, lovely. Charge gain. The good news is Jason is going to survive. The bad news is he doesn't have enough damage output. He can't win. Well, at least now that he's solo, I can do Art's Brave Chains. It's not a huge... It's probably not gonna do too much, but it might do something at least. Dang, even the crits can't go past it. I probably shouldn't have tried to keep him alive as hard as I have. To be blunt, it's probably better that I... All she's doing is healing more than I can possibly do anything about. It's no good. Are you kidding me? Here we go. Another arts buff. Yeah, her defenses are too high. Now the question is, how casual am I to be a free-to-play player and yet you can seriously consider using quartz to revive? Actually, perhaps there's a better question to be asked. How much do I hate Demeter right now? The answer? Very. This is the stupidest possible thing I could have done, but I genuinely don't care anymore. Yes, I know. Oh, that was incredibly stupid. I know Castoria's right around the corner. I do not care. I want Demeter down now. Here we go. Oh, come on. You're not getting away this time, Demeter. I'm absolutely going to make sure of it. Quick chain. This should do it. We did it. Screw you, Demeter. Yeah, I don't care. That was worth it in my opinion.
For the win!
There, we managed to get our outer shell off. Did it work? Yes, Demeter's outer core is severely damaged. What appears to be her divine core is now exposed. Ortonax remains stable. It should be able to maintain anti-divinity combat mode for at least 10 more minutes. What? Did it freeze? It froze! Oh no, don't tell me. Let me check. Alright, this is going to be extremely painful, but we're going to find out in a moment if I just got screwed out of my victory. Resume. Yeah, okay, we're almost there. Now we just need to check out the Divine Core. Right. Hold it, just hold up. Are you blind or something? Can't just ignore the nanomachine. She hasn't completely stopped regenerating. I can confirm her infinite regeneration has started up again. Her wounds are beginning to close. Damn, we were so close. Demeter, how much are you going to mock us? Well, what are you all doing? Go on, keep hitting her. Canis, can't you use land authority to neutralize it? Man, damn it, but it's not enough to stop that bitch. Oh my god. That damn Lostbelt Demeter is really directly descended from Guy, isn't she? I started celebrating too soon. It would seem this is a well and truly the end. Even with our greatest strokes of fortune, we weren't able to defeat her. We thought we had accounted for our enemies being much more powerful than expected designs, but her regenerative powers exceed even our wireless expectations. The Olympian gods truly seem to surpass us in every way imaginable. This isn't over yet. You punks can beat Poseidon. You sure as hell can beat Demeter too. Besides, nobody kills you jackasses but me. Now take this, a little present from Mustache. He said this thing's guaranteed to be a game changer. You just barely caught it. Is this some sort of attachment for the Ortonax? Is that? No way. That's right. It's a new piece of Ortonax equipment. Chaldea's own technical advisor designed tandem with our Atlas Institute alchemist ally. It's a form of cancer made to bring down beings of scale far beyond human capacity. We call it the Black Barrel. It's natural longevity conceptual weapon. One of the 7 taboos. It's the natural longevity conceptual weapon. One of the 7 taboos. Not that I know much about it myself. Wahaha. Nice catch. So what is that thing? I'm not entirely sure, actually. I bet Mash will know what to do with it. Oh, nice pass. Yes, Master, I know exactly what to do with this. During Sion's lecture on the life scale, she talked about a paradox effector that could let someone use measurements as a weapon. Measurements? Da Vinci took that concept and ran with it to make a new mechanism for the Ortonax. I actually had to practice with it using the simulator while I was at standby at the Wandering Sea. Oh dang, that's a really huge gun. Whoa, the Ortonax doesn't look anything like a shield anymore. Oh, so that's how it all works. It really is a gun barrel, isn't it? Anyways, get ready to have your socks knocked off. You're looking at one of the 7 taboos, one of the Atlas Institute's crowning achievements renowned throughout the entire Magecraft community. Or so I'm told. That sounds vaguely familiar. Indeed, the 7 taboos are something of a legend among the Mage Association. They're said to be weapons of Magecraft capable of destroying the very world itself. And the Black Barrel conceptual weapon is one of them. Miss Sion already possessed a replica of it. I believe she offered to Chaldea as a souvenir. I knew she was also working with Da Vinci on a new replacement part for the Ortonax, but I didn't know they'd finish their work after we arrived. Good, no issue with the gun barrel transformation. Output and stability are well above expected parameters. Send out the accomplishments measure. Begin the Black Barrel transformation when ready. Here goes. Initiating accomplishments measure. For ascertaining Demeter's life. If scale. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. There. Stop at 4,500. Beginning Black Barrel transformation. Preparing to burn the dead counter into the gun barrel. I'm sorry, but could someone tell me what's going on here? I can hardly blame you for feeling lost. I doubt I could comprehend its working either, even if I were at my peak condition. While I may not yet know how it works, I do know what it does. That's Demeter's lifespan. Then again, since she's a machine, perhaps it's her warranty period, or estimated number of years in operation. No matter. The point is, as long as the universe has a finite lifespan, there's nothing in it that will last forever. Everything that has a form must inevitably have an end, a limit if you'd like. The gun barrel can measure that end and make it tangible. In other words, so it's a weapon that copies the target's mass and throws it right back at them in the form of magical energy. Precisely. I must say, Keynes, you're far more intelligent than your behavior would suggest. Right, it's not the kind of weapon you could usually carry around like this. But in this case, I was able to miniaturize and stabilize it by restricting the measurement function to the machine gods only. Sion gave me the blueprints for some time ago. All I needed was a benchmark to use for its core. That first benchmark was Poseidon's divine core, and the second was the fragment of Artemis Canis was holding while drifting down from Atlantis. That was the last piece of the puzzle we needed. So that idiot Artemis turned out to be good for something after all, huh? But the barrel still needs Ultra Defense magical energy to do its job, and that means we're going to need you to use a command spell, Alex. And not just any command spell. No, this one's going to have to be a little different. You'll need to use everything you got, your own magical energy, your stamina, or even your own fate. Make no mistake, if you miss this shot, you won't get another. So I hope you've been practicing. And since Matcha has her hands full working the Ortonax, you'll need to work together and time it just right. She'll do the aiming, you pull the trigger. Don't worry, I've got this. Now that's what I like to hear. Good luck saving proper human history. Thanks, Da Vinci. Now go get some rest already. I swear nothing throws you off, does it? Thanks, I'm counting on you. Alright, let's do this, Mash. Right, Senpai. This may be the first of Olympus's mechanical gods, but it's a crucial moment. Oh, come on, everything we put... Now she's paying attention. Oh, shit. Sounds like that's the sound Demeter makes when she's about to get serious. She's storing a metric ship of magical energy in that giant ass of hers. Put in terms you'll understand, she's about to unleash her true name. That means she's not just using a regular attack, she's going to use her ultimate ability. I'm sorry. I do love you, I really do. Persephone. How sad and tragic. Demeter's magical energy is rising rapidly. She's about to unleash a massive scream. I know what you guys just got a hold of, but you better hurry. At the rate she's charging up, I don't think she'll care if she ends up blowing herself up. You guys need to get out of there now before you're blessed into ether dust. It's alright, we'll be fine. If my calculations are correct, we should be 0.5 seconds faster. Might not be much, but it's enough. Connection in place. I've measured Demeter's destiny. Now I'll use the dead counter to turn it from speculation to reality. Bunker bolt is at its limit. Gun barrel fully stabilized and synchronized. Master! Load command spell. I guess we could just say this is how loading command spell into the Spiritron chamber. Barrel replica, full trance, go Ortonax. I guess this is what I truly spent all my command seals on. If not, I'll just use another Saint Quartz, because screw you, Demeter! Dang, they don't usually use this kind of animated cutscene. That didn't even hit her on the core. Ooh. Oh, come on, don't leave me in suspense. Did we win? The black beam of light was a dream, a fiction designed to kill, a conceptual blade forged to shatter beings with infinite lifespans. The concept of natural lifespan capable of ending the world is what made it possible to bring an end to a life that would otherwise go on forever. The gun barrel replica, charged with god-slaying particles, made it possible to shatter unshatterable life. Black beam of light brought death, a finality, an end. At last. At last I can finally make my way to you. Yet, you left my embrace when you encountered the darkness, you changed irrecoverably. You became a mother and gained so very much. You smiled so proudly when I lost you forever during the fourth Matcha. I've never forgotten that smile. I love you so much, more than anything. Persephone. At last I can finally go where you are. Demeter. Please tell me. Oh, and you're not Persephone. What are you? You're there from another planet. You're supposed to be my beloved daughter. Demeter, goddess of the land. I think this is the first time the priestess is actually talking. Now that you know you're about to disappear, don't you have any regrets? It's very kind of you. I do have one regret, just one. I can only pray that these new, tiny, intelligent beings, these 10 million of my darling Olympians, are able to find peace. I pray that when their time comes, they're able to go without suffering. Direct hit. The magical energy punched straight through her divine core. Target's magical energy ratings are falling rapidly. The hostile entity is signal's fading. I can confirm the enormous hostile entity has gone completely silent. I'm not seeing any magical energy readings either. Congratulations, everyone. The operation's over. We have won. You won. You actually defeated Demeter. Is this really happening? Anti-divinity combat complete. We've won, Master. Thank goodness. Sorry, Mash, I don't think I can move anymore. Oh, Senpai! Bofo! Yes, been seeing this on our end too. His vital signs are dropping as we speak. Both his magical energy and vital signs are at dangerous levels. That must be the thing Da Vinci was talking about. Mash? Senpai, grab hold of my shoulder. I'm sorry. I guess I used a bit too much. Senpai. Like when discovering the White Aura site, what matters more than anything else is we manage to find a way to end life meant to be unending. And here we go. Alright, let me just check something else here. Just let me see exactly how powerful this buff is. Mash. FGO. Mash. Mortinax. Alright, let's take a look. Let's see here. Here we are. Alright, it looks like it goes from 50 crit damage and buster to 100 crit damage and buster, but it's still for only one attack every 3 turns. Although it does ignore defense buffs as well. Allow her to ignore defense buffs as well, which is quite nice. I'm still not a fan of Ortanax Max because it seems to be trying to add some raw damage to a character clearly intended to be tanking support, but can't deny that's a legitimately powerful strike even if it's only once. Yeah, Ortanax has been enhanced and Equipped has been enhanced. Records fragment. Here we go. The Lostbelt. Records fragment. I'll probably call the stream after this. That was quite a bit to go through, but we won. We managed to beat what is supposedly the hardest boss in Olympus. Not without great cost, but it was a price well worth paying. If anyone here to ask when my life changed, I knew exactly when I would tell them. Springtime when I was 15. That said, this isn't the kind of thing you go around telling people about, but alright, I should take it to my grave. Back then, I was enrolled in the Astromancy department of the Clock Tower, aka the Mage Association's headquarters. I was the 13th heir to the Wodime legacy. Okay, so this is Wodime's backstory. The child who'd been granted the protection of the stars. I was said to possess the greatest magical circuits of any Wodime to date. And I was a genius who'd already been promised the keys to the Wodime family in a few years' time by the 11th head of the estate, who led the family even now. Those were the sort of things everyone would say about me. Me, a genius, even though I usually spend each day sifting through other departments' files? That was always the sort of response I gave, but I did so more out of conceit than modesty. I knew that I was talented, I knew I was confident, I knew one day I'd be exactly what everyone expected me to be, and more. I wanted for nothing, not for lineage, talent, or affection. So many things work in my favor, it was easy to push myself to greater heights without leaning on my environment. Back then, I took pride in my excellence, and I would constantly work to further improve myself. I believe those blessed with the natural talent should still apply themselves, set their sights on even greater stages. I was completely convinced there was nothing I could not do, nothing that was beyond my reach. For the past 6 months, crossing the Great Bridge, the Evocation Department's college had become something of a routine of mine. I had noticed what appeared to be beggars by the path the opposite side, but never gave them any thought. At the time, I didn't even see them. It wasn't that I disliked them, or that I was even trying to avoid them. It was that for me, they may as well not have existed at all. I was a prodigy, born to carve out a new age of magecraft. I didn't have time to get involved with people like them. I was born into an environment far better than most could hope for, with talents far greater than most could dream of. That was why I had a duty to fulfill. I was going to create something beautiful, something wonderful. It was that ideal, that passion that made me apply myself to my studies day in and day out. It was the reason I so frequently visited that college, even when it arguably belonged to an enemy. I didn't realize how arrogant I was, being so childish. On that day, I was headed home later than usual. It was the middle of the night with no one on the bridge and the stars hidden behind the clouds. Everything happened so fast, I failed to react. That turned out to be a fatal mistake. I wasn't surprised that an assassin had been sent to try and kill someone as young as me. I was surprised because my would-be assassin was a manservant I'd frequently seen in my own house. I counterattacked automatically before I even thought about what to do, thanks to the spells I'd engraved into my body. Dang, so he had permanent self-buffs active. The assassin never got another chance. Vacuum blades sliced him to bits before he could even pull the trigger again. But it was enough, he'd already critically wounded me, and there was no hope of escape. He wasn't the only one who'd been sent to take my life. I knew, because it's done. Send out more men. Find Chimera's body. There's my father, trying to kill his own son. He fell in the river. Find him. Of course, I wasn't the one falling in. It was my ring after all. It was my ring after I'd cast a weight alteration spell on it. I knew it wouldn't do more than buy some time, but at that moment I knew it was the best move I could make. After I drew the assassin's attention towards the river, I activated footstep cancellation and got as far away as I could. Okay, now what do... My consciousness began to fade away. I went back to the bridge instead of heading to the city exit, and my strength gave out just as I was making my way to near back alley. At the time, I didn't know my assailant's weapon was an ordinary magecraft. Rather, it was the kind of poison just like the sort used by that famous mage killer, designed to attack magical circuits directly. Oh, so that was Hiritsugu's mage killer bullet. That is extremely dangerous. I was in a dimly lit room. Within it was nothing more than the sound of dripping water and the scent of mildew. I was on a makeshift bed made from an old wooden crate. Bare minimum of bandaging had been applied to my back. There was no pillow, blankets, I had no restraints on my arms and legs. I was technically free, but I wasn't able to move so much as a finger. The wound in my chest said he had to close, and I lacked strength to even stand. I had been laid down to rest with no more ceremony than a corpse. Where am I? At first I thought my assassins had captured me, but then I realized they would have no reason to keep me alive. After all, since it was my own family trying to kill me, there was little sense in torturing me for information or anything like that. I couldn't understand what was going on. My thoughts refused to put themselves in order. Still just barely conscious, I managed to crane my neck enough to observe the dimly lit room. Something creepy. A child. Something was in the corner of the room, as if it were trying to hide from what little light there was. It was then when I noticed something strange staring directly at me. Seriously? Just when I decided to stop by so it doesn't look like I've been gone for 2 days straight. Can't believe this guy. He's just basking in the sun, snoozing away with as much as a single guard. Hey, Wodime, don't you think it's time you got up? You are the Crippers' leader, right? Aren't you the one guy representing humanity in the power struggle between the Olympian gods and the humans? How can you just leave yourself defenseless like this? Wake up already. Is that you, Cattle? Wait, Cattle. What are you doing here? This is my... Never mind, no this isn't. This is the Hanging Gardens of the Great Orbital Shrine Olympia. Well, that was careless of me. The sunlight was so pleasant, I didn't realize I'd fallen asleep. I was dreaming about something I hadn't thought about in a long time. I feel very silly. I guess I could just get too relaxed without Canis to keep me in line. Anyway, thank you for waking me up before I could waste any more time. You don't have to thank me. I only spoke up because it was weird seeing you like that. Weird? How so? Well, you're not exactly the sort of guy who just doze off in public. You're like perfectionism incarnate. You don't take naps like a typical college slacker. See, well, while I do take some issue with the impression you seem to have of me, I also understand now why it was you were so surprised. I'll be more careful in the future. Now then, what is it you wish to see me about? Kadok, do you have something to report? Ah, crap, I was so shocked to see him sleeping like that, I forgot I don't have anything to tell him. I can't just lie, he'll know I've been up to something. I got it. They got Demeter. One of the great gods of Olympus is gone, just like that. Some perfect being she turned out to be. Oh, and one more thing, a tan lancer with white hair is helping them out. Lucky it looks like Europa didn't catch that part. How's it feel, Ridomi? How's it feel knowing the loser you thought you disposed of is not only alive but actively working against you? That is a surprise. I never would have expected Canis to go over to Chaldea's side, and they managed to destroy Demeter's true form. They must have been far better prepared than I thought. So a tiny rebel force managed to bring down a powerful authority figure. How very rock and roll. No, heavy metal feels more appropriate given the composition of the gods' bodies. Also, I'm a bit of a metalhead. Am I going deaf or did you just make a lame pun about music? Apologies, perhaps I have not quite awakened yet, but really, I do love metal. At any rate, I'm surprised you knew something even Queen Europa did not. It almost sounds as though you were there watching things unfold in person. You must have found yourself a very good familiar indeed. Oh no, I can't just sit around here mooching free grub forever. I'm still a cryptor after all, so I need to be ready to fight against him at least one more time. I see, then make sure you take good care of that familiar. An ace up your sleeve can mean the difference between life and death after all. Rest assured, you don't need to tell me, the other cryptors or anyone else in Olympus, what yours is. That said, if it should come to light you were using something you shouldn't be, I'll unfortunately be forced to respond in whatever way is appropriate. I have my own role to fulfill after all. How much does he know? I better change the subject fast. By the way, about Demeter, Chaldea might have been able to beat her, but it still wasn't because they straight up overpowered her. It looked to me like Demeter was looking for something. No, that's right, maybe trying to recover something. She kept apologizing over and over. And not to the Olympians she was killing, but one person in particular. That's the only reason they were able to destroy her. Any idea what she was looking for? I see, so that did hold her back, as I suspected it might. Just a proper human history, this Lostbelt's Demeter once had a daughter she loved dearly. Her name was Persephone. It said Demeter wept long and hard after Hades stole her away to the underworld. Yet despite that, she never stopped loving her daughter. But a few thousand years ago, her daughter died during the fourth Matcha. Hang on, Wodime, that doesn't add up. I don't know if she's a full god or demigod, but I thought people didn't die in the city. Not necessarily. Humans are simply incapable of killing other humans. The immortality humans enjoy in this Lostbelt is not true immortality, but pseudo-immortality. The gods can easily end their subjects' sumo or immortal lives as they so wish. So the one who killed Persephone was one of the gods? You mean one of the gods from Coexistence faction? No, it was not one of them. Oh, did she take herself out? Persephone sided with the Coexistence faction, so Zeus ordered Demeter to... Oh. So she was calling out the daughter she killed as if she was still alive, huh? Sounds almost human of her. Those gods are machines, right? How can they function properly when they're contradicting themselves like that? I understand your confusion, but it's precisely their machine nature that means there was no contradiction at all. Their minds don't work like ours. That's the tragedy of the 12 Olympian machine gods are right there. Whether gods create humans or humans create gods, both sides usually share a common understanding of the world in which they live. But the Olympians are different. They weren't gods to begin with. They only came to be defined that way over time. Yeah, the story seems to imply that they were actually here to bring some other race here, since they were described as an ark. Possibly, it might be the nanomachines themselves or the true inhabitants of that they brought here. It's because their functions enable them to control the weather, or provide endless amounts of food, destroy various life forms' memories, mass-produce weapons. That led to the residents of the Lostbelt seeing them as gods. They then incorporated this definition to their functions to rely in order to operate more smoothly on this planet. After all, the people of the ancient world wanted superior beings they could pray to, not cold, unfeeling spaceships. And so they accepted the new roles they'd been given and became mechanical gods instead of mere machines. As a result, they ended up making this god play acting into a new directive, all without ever understanding that how the intelligent beings treating them as gods actually felt. Cold and unfeeling, huh? So that's why Demeter went nuts, because she ended up with feelings tacked onto herself when she didn't need them. This was less a matter of contradiction than it was of conflict. Humans can rationalize acts like that by telling themselves there was nothing else they could have done. But she had no choice but to treat the order, or to kill her own daughter like any other assigned task. She wasn't crazy, she was just in pain. That's what it means to be a god in this Lostbelt. It's also why they were able to realize a real-life utopia where nobody has to die or grow old. And here I thought machines always operate on pure logic. Alright, if that's what the gods are like here, then what's your game, Wodime? Your goal is to bring about the Age of Gods again, right? Is that really the kind of god you want to be? Of course gods should run the world. With that being said, the future and the answer I seek is a little different from Zeus's. What I seek, Kadok, is an even more perfect age, an age where there will be neither conflict nor contradiction. It is my responsibility to see that age come about, and that is what the foreign god also wishes. Curiouser and curiouser. Guess this will make up for the one I spent. Well, I think we've gone on for a decent amount of time. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. Alright, well, thank you for watching. Hope you had a good time. And you can check out my VODs. I save them here. If you want to check out my VODs, I save them here on Twitch as long as they allow, or you can check out some of my older ones on YouTube. Alright, thank you, and I'll see you next time.